Summon Sign is brought to you by you. If you want to learn how to support our show, go to patreon.com/laststandmedia. Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 94 of Summon Sign. I'm your host, Brad Ellis. Joining me, I have two lovely co-hosts today. But in case you don't know, Summon Signs are our Last Stand's weekly in-depth gaming discussion podcast. Now, let's get to my two guests, two lovely humans. First, we're going to start with my punching up co-host, Micah Moriarty. Micah, hello. I can't see what your earrings are right now. Are they the hot dog ones?
Oh, they are candy corns, Brad.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
I can't tell from the grain on the Zencaster.
Yeah, and I liked these earrings so much. These are actually little glass beads. I've ordered these from a lady online, and I broke one of them. And so then I ordered a new pair. So now I have 3 of them, and I just grab them off the rack and put them on. But I have a spare, so we got the air and the spare situation going on here. So if another one breaks, I still have a full set of candy corn earrings.
You know what? As someone who's a curmudgeon and doesn't like celebrating the holidays, Micah, or putting in the spirit, I do appreciate
that. That is not true. I love the holidays. I just don't like decorating the outside of the house. We got the pumpkin. We put a pumpkin on the front steps. There's one pumpkin.
Okay. Progress. Yeah, one pumpkin. Okay. All right. We'll see. Maybe next year we can get 2 pumpkins out there. Let's not get too crazy, but...
Dude, I mean, you should see there's someone in our neighborhood who has literally 30 pumpkins of varying sizes. It's just like, I know, like, we paid $7.50 for that pumpkin. And she's got a whole mess of them. I'm like, you spend a lot of money on that.
Yeah, maybe they're all going to rot. Patch. They will eventually, yeah. Especially if you carve them.
Oh, yeah.
Mm.
Also joining us, Mr. Lockmort, our Belgian brother. Lock, how are you today?
Hello. I'm good.
For you.
It's evening. Well, yeah, it's 7 p.m. It's been a busy, unexpectedly busy day because I woke up and then somebody called with a problem I had to go solve, and then I was finally home, and then there was another problem, and then there was another problem, and then my PC wouldn't start up, and then my mic didn't work, but we're here. I'm very happy to see you guys. Always so happy to see you guys. This is always so much fun.
Yes, sir. And I also see Ellie back there. Your cat just hanging out by the Tron.
That's another problem. Gotta go to the vet tomorrow because she has like a little thing on her paw that she keeps opening. So there's blood everywhere in the apartment. It's been a day, but we'll get that sorted out. But yeah, there she is.
Yeah, she's awesome. Cute cat. All right. Hey, if you want to support us. What accent? I feel like I've heard some people say support us. I don't know. Go to patreon.com/laststand if you want to support us. We greatly appreciate it. We cannot do it with you guys or without you guys over there. Early ad-free access to all of our shows. This show, Punching Up, Finding Duke, Sacred Symbols, all the good stuff. You can get Sacred Symbols Plus. That's patron exclusive over there. I have no idea what they're going to be doing this week. Do you guys know what they did last week? I can't remember.
For streaming?
No, Sacred Symbols Plus.
It was Cog discussing his trip to Japan.
Oh, okay. That's cool. So yeah, if you want to get some, I think, one-on-one with Colin and Cog talking about his trip in Japan, check that out. Very cool. Also, if you want some merch, go to laststandmedia.store. Micah, we still have pre-orders, correct, of the Sacred Symbols holiday sweatshirt?
So today that we're recording is the final day. So when you hear this, the pre-orders will have been closed. But I sincerely thank everyone who ordered. We are shocked at how popular this was. It's something that I thought it was a great idea when Dustin pitched it, but we just didn't know how many people in the audience would go for it. And that's part of why we did it as a pre-sale, because it's like, well, if only 10 people want one, this is a bad idea to order a whole bunch. And instead, it's like people, really just completely blew past our expectation on how popular this would be. So thanks, everyone, for the orders. You will get updates soon as once the pre-order ends officially. Then I submit the final numbers to the printer, and then we get an estimate on when they're actually going to arrive here so I can ship them out. So you'll be getting updates on that. But really, we're just so surprised at how well this did, and we thank everyone.
Good. Yes. Thank you guys for supporting us. Appreciate it. Now, I got to bring up a very old person topic really quick. How's the weather been over there, Micah? Is it getting cooler now for you?
God, no. So the problem is that it's getting down to the 40s and 30s overnight and then still getting up to 75 during the day. So we are putting the heat on, not too high, but we're putting the heat on overnight because otherwise you come downstairs and it's 65 and we have hardwood floors. It's very cold. Or, and then we got to turn the heat off though, because then if you forget about it, then it just climbs and climbs and climbs. Like last night I was cooking dinner and I looked over to the thermostat and it was 77 degrees in here. And I was like, oh my God, because I had the oven on, the stove going. Yeah. So we had one chilly evening and I made chicken noodle soup. And that has since left us. And I grilled burgers the other night. So it's very back and forth, but we're making the best of it.
Yeah, do what you can. What about you, Locke? How's the weather over there? Is it cold over there?
We only have 2 seasons here. That's either scorching heat summer or fall. And it's fall now, so I'm happy. Well, it's always raining and gray, so good for depressed people, I guess. But I like it too. It's better than the heat. So no, I'm happy. It's cool.
I do like the rain a lot, but maybe if I was in it constantly like you are, maybe I wouldn't. I don't know. It's rare for us, so I'm always excited when it's here. It's always, quote, a perfect day where I'm at right now.
It must be so difficult for you.
I know it is. It's 70 degrees right now, but the hottest it'll get is 80 today. But it still has that fall crispness there at least. So I appreciate that. But it needs to get colder.
Have you ever seen... Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, no, I was going to say, we're just waiting for it to get colder for all the foods. I got a fantastic recipe from Colin's stepmom. When we visited them last weekend, she made this delicious chicken stew. And it's dairy free, which is it's great for me because I'm lactose intolerant. And I had asked her, oh, can you send me that recipe? And then literally the day she sent it was the day it was 75 degrees. And it's all I want is to make the chicken stew.
Yeah.
It's fucking hot as hell in here.
Locke, you were going to ask me if I've ever seen snow, I assume.
Yeah, how did you know that? Yeah.
I think you've asked me this before. Oh. Yeah, I can get, there's mountains with snow from me an hour and a half away.
Oh, okay.
Maybe less.
But not real snow. I mean
no, I mean real snow, yeah.
Well, yeah, mountain snow, of course. But snowing where you live? Is that possible?
No. Okay, that does not happen. No, absolutely not. Not even close.
Not unless something catastrophic happens to the earth.
Unless it's the apocalypse, maybe. But right now, no, sir. Not yet. Micah, you talking about warm food for cold weather got me hyped. I cannot wait for that kind of stuff. Hot chocolate, maybe, perhaps.
Hot chocolate, chili and cornbread. I mean, it's just all about shepherd's pie. I'm all about comfort foods. I already made a pot roast this season. I did that maybe 3 weeks ago because I just was I just fucking want a pot roast, and we're eating it, and it's hot outside. But I just was so desperate for pot roast. I love all those type of foods. Soup. We love soup in this house. And I have found some new soup recipes I'm excited to try. In addition to the chicken stew, I found a really great recipe that I'd never heard of, but it's pasta and chickpeas. It's the English. I don't want to pronounce the Italian way, but it's this classic Italian dish, I guess. And it's a tomato-based soup, but it's pasta, chickpeas, your various herbs and spices in a tomato broth. And it's a nice vegetarian meal. And I'm this looks fantastic. Yeah. But I'm just waiting to try it. I got to bake all my breads, but we wait.
Yeah, cool. We wait. Dude, let me show you this kit I got real quick at Target. Can't use it yet, but it is for the colder seasons. Give me 5 seconds.
We're going to narrate this, Locke. Brad is now standing. He's 8 feet tall. He hit his head on the ceiling. Oh my God, Brad hit his head on the ceiling when he stood up. There's dust raining down. There's now a hole in the ceiling where Bradley had stood up.
All right, check this out. Look at this Harry Potter kit.
Oh.
It changes the color of the hot chocolate to whatever.
What?
Yeah. Ooh. And this little wand is the mixing stick. So I was at Target. I was like, damn, I got to try that shit.
Nice.
I hope it's going to be weird drinking yellow hot chocolate, but you got to live a little,
Are they different flavors?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not really sure. It doesn't say, but it's all just like different theming after all that kind of stuff.
But is it like chemicals?
I guess so. Some sort of chemical.
It's not allowed in your country, Lockmore, but we have very dangerous pigments that we add to our food, and we don't care. I mean, Brad, you'd remember the Shrek ketchup when we were. It was green,
right?
It was green. They had purple. All right, the Shrek. How I can't remember because we used to call it like Shretchup. No, like when we used to put it together and call it like Shretchup.
Oh,
but like shit. I mean, we don't care about the danger. There was just a big study done showing how much lead is in our protein powders. So, but I already had lead poisoning as a child. So, like Colin and I are joking that I'm immune.
That's true. Because
I have a lot of protein powders, so that's alarming to me. Fuck.
Your bread is not allowed in my country. Like American bread is not allowed here because you have like weird flour or something.
It's a lot of sugar. Like store bought. When I make bread at home, it is comical how little sugar is required in a homemade bread recipe. Like I'll make a loaf of bread and it might call for 1.5 teaspoons of sugar. But then you look at like the nutrition facts on like store-bought white bread and it's like there's a whole fuck ton of sugar, but that's what makes it delicious. But homemade bread, it is like I'll be on the baking forums. People will be like, the homemade bread just isn't quite the same. It's like, no, it's better for you. You kind of gotta adapt to it. It's still delicious. I love homemade bread, but it is not as sweet as your store-bought. And if that's what you like, it's not the same.
Yeah. Yeah, our food, not good. A lot of it, not good.
I mean, it is good.
I mean, it tastes good, but not good for you, which is unfortunate.
So when we were on Long Island, there was a McDonald's directly across the street from our hotel, and we went twice. And like I hadn't had McDonald's like all year, dude, so I was fucking feeling it.
Yeah, I haven't had McDonald's for a hot minute. It's just like, I don't know. Because I do watch my diet more, and it's like, if I'm going to, go out, I'm not going to go all out. I'm not going to go to fucking McDonald's.
No, exactly. I mean, I just more so out of like, I make dinner almost every night, and then there's almost always leftovers because it's just two of us. So usually for lunch, I'm eating the leftovers from dinner. So I'm just like, where am I supposed to fit this in? However, I have to get blood work done soon, and you have to be fasted. And my reward usually, if I get blood works, I hate it. I fucking hate it. My reward is McDonald's breakfast. Last year, I missed it by 5 minutes because I felt woozy and I had to lay down at the doctor's office. And then I pulled up to McDonald's. It was like 10:31. And I fucking missed it. So this year, we're going to try not to collapse after they steal my blood, and hopefully I can get my McDonald's breakfast.
I was going to say, just have Colin drive, but I remembered he doesn't drive. Damn, dude.
They make you stay when you don't feel well.
Right.
I have to warn them every time, like I might pass out, and then I somewhat look like I'm going to, and they're like, baby, you gotta lay down. It's always these really nice black ladies, and then they put me in a back room with an ice pack, and I'm like, I just want breakfast.
Yeah. Damn. You'll get it this time, I believe.
I hope so. I want sausage egg McGriddles. Oh my god.
Ooh.
Oh my don.
Don't you guys get a cookie after giving blood there?
I'm not giving it for charity. This is for testing. I can't do that. I once put off getting blood work for like almost a year because I was so scared of it. That was like last year. So I hate it. I respect everyone who gives blood for charity, but I wouldn't do that for $1 million. Like I fucking hate it so much.
Are you like scared of needles or just blood itself?
No, not even the needles. I'm covered in piercings and tattoos. Like I hate the blood. This is horrifying.
It makes me uncomfortable.
I get that.
I get a paper cut. My armpits get sweaty. I do not like it. So, but they always laugh because, you take off your sweatshirt so they can have your arm. And I got all these tattoos. And then I'm like, I might freak out. Okay. And they look at me like I'm crazy. It's like,
Yeah. Before we get into the games, I just want to say, holidays are coming up. If you're usually a Grinch about it, get in the spirit a little bit this year. Have a little fun. Get in there. Get a pumpkin. Get a Christmas tree, whatever holiday you celebrate. Get in there a little bit. Celebrate Micah. Get a little festive.
I got a bunch of decorations in here.
Bake some cookies and none in the shot.
Well, okay. Well, he's over at the window. There's a candy corn man, and he's always there though. He's there year round. So
okay. Yeah, so that doesn't even count because he's just there all the time.
They're in the house. I am festive. Downstairs on my table is a whole smattering of pumpkins and skeletons, and they're all around the living room. And I got a candy corn guy who's always there. I got my tarot reading sign. All right, like
how convenient that none of it's ever in camera or focus, and no one can see it.
The window is so small. How much stuff can I fit back here?
I don't know. Get rid of like 3 of your Funko Pops and you could fit something back. All right. Let's get into the games we're playing actually now. I will start off first just to set the tone. This is a very controversial game right now. Pokemon Legends ZA. I've only played like 3 hours of the game because I've been playing something else for a little bit. I'll get into later in the show. But yes, this has been a shit show on social media and everywhere. No surprise to me because I expect this from every Pokemon game nowadays. It's so fun to see, for me, people complaining about Pokemon Company games and stuff like that and the quality of them, the budget. I'm just like, where you guys been? Where you been? Do you not remember Scarlet and Violet and stuff like that before? It's always been lower tier. So I've been playing a little bit of that and I'm having an okay time playing it. It's okay. But like I said, my expectations are always pretty low with Pokemon, so I'm not expecting too much. And if maybe you are, or you haven't played a Pokemon game in a long time, this certainly is not going to be the one to bring you back into the series. I'll just say that. Let me read some of these write-ins from the audience, then we'll talk more about that kind of stuff. This is from Jared Clark. Hey all, first-time writer, long-time listener. How disappointing is Pokemon Legends ZA? The lack of everything compared to Digimon Time Stranger is abysmal. Be well, Jared Clark. Hey, first time writer, and I love that kind of stuff.
Cool.
APO wrote in and said, howdy, Summoners. How are we feeling about Pokemon? All ugly graphics aside, this is great, and only behind Gen 3, 4, and 5 runs of Pokemon for me. The battling is fresh, and the story concluding X and Y arcs is fantastic. Curious to hear your thoughts on the story and gameplay. Also, most and least favorite Mega designs. Mega Starmie needs to come to the front of the congregation. I don't know if you guys have seen Mega Starmie, but it is disturbing. But there's like a lot of fucked up Pokemon already. There has been for a long time. So it's always interesting when the community, I should say, latches onto a new abomination. So that's the newest one. And also Big Yoshi. I like that name. Micah's beloved Yoshi. Hey guys, as someone who's depressed about the state of Pokemon, I'd love to hear some gratuitous dunking on the latest release from Game Freak. I know people praise Legends Arceus, but the bar feels incredibly low for the franchise. I wish they'd just go back to 2D or the style of Let's Go Pikachu. Why do people keep buying these games? Well, I'll answer that for you really quick because it's Pokemon. And it's like the biggest or one of the biggest intellectual properties on the entire fucking planet. This has been, you're like me 10 years ago saying this. Why do people still keep buying these games? And people love those games I was talking shit on all those years ago. So the cycle will repeat forever. That's just the way it is. Micah, we talked about their budgets and stuff like that on Punching Up last week because they got leaked. There's a whole bunch of like Terra leaks and all that kind of stuff. And they're made comically cheap. They make so much money for how cheap they are to make. It's insane, but they keep selling, dude. People keep buying. So I've accepted this long time ago that things just won't change. It's just the way it is. You're just going to have to deal with that. And X and Y, or I'm sorry, ZA kind of follows in those footsteps. Now, let me just set up the premise of ZA. ZA takes place in the city from X and Y, Lumio City, which is like Paris, I guess it would be the equivalent of. Has like a fake Eiffel Tower and all that kind of stuff in the middle. But the entire game takes place in this city, which is immediately weird to me. I wish you got to explore a little bit outside of the environment or the city to see out the outside world, which was cool in the actual Black or X and Y, which I liked a lot. So disappointed there. But Lumio City is just kind of boring. I mean, it looks nice from first glance. You're like, okay, this could be pleasant, but more you dig into the game and explore the city, the more boring it all becomes. First of all, there's everything. I'm sure you guys have seen this. Gene was talking about this a lot. Is everything is just kind of like a flat texture, like all the buildings, like the windows and the brick and all that. It's just like one flat texture. There's no texture, I guess, to it, like pumping out a little bit, like a little windowsill or anything like that. A lot of it. Nope. It looks very PS2, I would say, in that regard, which is very strange. The game runs okay. I'm playing on the Switch 2 version. There is a Switch 1 version, though, so I don't know what that's like. It runs at 60. It seems like stable, but this game ain't a looker. It ain't pushing any tech. Nothing like that. So I guess that's not too surprising, but I don't know. Oh, the biggest thing that stood out to me immediately is there's no voice acting at all in the entire game. And it's presented like there should be voice acting in a lot of the cutscenes. You see characters' mouths moving and stuff like that, dynamic actions, and it's so jarring and feels so weird. Like, how are we in 2025 with Pokemon, like the biggest IP on the planet, and you don't have fucking voice acting at all? Not even a little bit. Not even just like in the main cutscenes. Nothing. Zelda beat you to the punch years ago, and we still don't have any voice acting here. It is insane. This is the kind of shit that really frustrates me about Game Freak and Nintendo, and I forgot the other company that owns Pokemon. Just in case people know, Pokemon's owned by like 3 companies altogether, so it's very strange how it all works. So I don't know who to put the blame on specifically for this game or Pokemon in general, because it's, you look at Game Freak and they have that other game coming out. I forgot what it's called, but it's like a Japanese setting, like ancient Japanese setting like that, and it looks way higher budget. It's not a Nintendo game as far as I'm aware, so it's really strange to see that game compared to this, where this just looks like very basic and not impressive, not ambitious and whatsoever visually. From a presentation standpoint, it's very bare bones. It's almost shocking for how popular this series is. It's like an anomaly for sure. I'm trying to imagine any other company doing this kind of stuff. They wouldn't get away with it. And I'm not saying Pokemon does. They kind of get away with it financially, but in the mind space, people are holding them to task, which I'm very happy about because they deserve it.
Yeah.
But gameplay wise, kind of interesting. So I never played Arceus, so I don't really have context for that, which was the first Legends game. And I know people did enjoy that game quite a bit. So I was looking forward to playing this one. And what's interesting about this game is it's real-time combat. It's not turn-based. Pokemon historically has been turn-based since the Game Boy games, like the main line games, at least. So this one goes in a more real-time aspect. So what you are your trainer running around, and your little Pokemon follows you at all times, which I really appreciate. And even during combat, you can run. Like if you're in combat and you run, your Pokemon will follow you. So you can kind of avoid some attacks like that. But I haven't gotten to the point where I feel like that's been crucial for combat yet. I'm still very early in the game. So like I'm not having to really run out of like red AoE rings or anything like that yet. And it almost seems like a spam fest where I'm at in the game right now. Basically, you have all your moves tied to the face buttons. And if you do a move, it has a short cooldown. But while that cooldown's going, you can use another move. So it just, right now, it feels like I'm just kind of using what's off cooldown and spamming everything and just taking them out. But it's very fast, very streamlined. Catching Pokemon is like so easy in this game. It's fucking absurd. If you guys have played old Pokemon games, you know you get in combat with one, you got to wear it down a little bit. You got to throw Pokeballs to try to catch it. In this game, let me backtrack. If you hit them too much on the old games, they can faint and you lose the opportunity to catch them. Not in this game. You can just beat the shit out of these guys until they're like they're in the faint state. They're like, they have like stars above their head, or they're like dizzy, like Street Fighter 2. Then you could throw the ball at them and catch them way easier. So that is simplified. Everything is way more simplified. It's kind of absurd. I have not run into any stakes whatsoever in the game. It's been very relaxed all around so far. And depending on who you are, I know Pokemon is a very wide range franchise that appeals to like people of all ages and children especially, so it's very friendly in that regard. This game, super easy for that kind of stuff. So if you're maybe a parent or you're interested in playing something super simple and chill, this could be it. But yeah, the entire game takes place in Lumio City. Like I said, the premise revolves around you ranking up in these kind of like battle royale regions or stuff like that. Basically, throughout the city, there are regions you can go to. In the day, there are like the wild zones where you can just walk in there and kind of catch Pokemon. I gotta say, the Pokemon look cool in this game. It's really rad to see them all just kind of actually there to size. Like, I had my little Totodile running around with me at all times. You can swap out really quickly who's with you. So it's really, to me, as someone who's like mostly just seeing Pokemon through the lens of the handhelds, it's like cool to see them on a console like full size to scale actually. To an extent, I don't know, like, I know there's like a blue whale Pokemon. I don't think he's in the game, so I can't see that kind of shit, which would be cool. But I've really appreciated that aspect of it. That's just a little touch that probably most people don't care about. But anyways, basically these wild zones where you go catch Pokemon, but at nighttime, there are regions, like battle regions you walk into, and you just kind of fight trainers in there. And at the end, you fight a boss, I should say, and you get a new rank up. And I think that's the entire game, what you do throughout the entire game, as far as I'm aware, because I don't think you go anywhere else. I don't think anything changes too dramatically. It's very simple, but there's a slight pleasure to it. I was having fun catching stuff, I gotta say. I was enjoying that kind of stuff. But it's not a game where I'm like, this is a great game. You gotta check this out. This is fun. No, it's not like that at all. It's very bare bones and kind of insulting in a lot of ways. But there's maybe some fun to be had if your expectations are in check and keep them low for the most part. But Micah, we've talked about this on Punching Up occasionally. What do you think of the game from what you've seen of it? Does it look interesting at all to you? Would you try it?
No, I mean, based on yours and Gene's, descriptions of it, this does not sound like the premier Pokemon game to jump in with and be like, oh, no, this is the one that that's gonna change my mind. Because as listeners know, I'm not very into it. Mm-hmm. I really never have been. And so it's cool that, like, I like the idea of the combat because it's kind of like Xenoblade combat, which I love. But I don't love the sound of the rest of it. Mm-hmm. and so it's like, if you're someone like me who already is pretty lukewarm on, the Pokemon franchise as a whole, I don't think this one's the one to excite me and get me into the series.
No. I will say, at least in the city, there's like some shops you can go to. Like, you can get clothing and all that kind of stuff. There's been a lot of clothing, at least from what I've seen so far, or a decent amount. So I've been pleased from that front. But it's all super low budget. Like, you go to the shop, you don't actually go in it and see the layout of the shop or like that. It just goes to a menu. I'm like, God, dude, it seems so fucking low budget and annoying in that sense. It feels like a handheld game. It feels like a 3DS game, I should say. Like a slight evolution of that, which is disappointing to me. I'm waiting for Pokemon still to do big dick stuff, and it hasn't, in my opinion. But Lockport, Pokemon, how hyped are you?
Well, you sold me on it wonderfully, Brett. Sounds like an amazing game.
Yeah.
No, Pokemon is one of those series that I miss. I was just too old too old. Well, I guess I was too old when it came out. We're roughly the same age.
Yeah.
I think you were 1 or 2 years younger. When it came out, like when it was big, I was just a little bit too old, just maybe 1 or 2 years
too old. Yeah, you're on the cusp.
Yeah, to fully enjoy it. So I never got that renaissance that people have with it, because people really love Pokemon. I remember in high school when I was looking at like the younger classes, they loved it too, but it was just never a thing for me. So I never played the games, never watched this show. I always hear people talking about it when I edited for Maddie on Retro Rebounds or for some other YouTubers too. They were always so negative about these games too. Like, I've never heard anyone say about a new Pokemon game like, oh, this is amazing. It's always like, oh, this is a disappointment. I wish it was more like this. So I've never been convinced to go back to it, but I want to. It looks cool. I've played Ni no Kuni, of course, like some of the other people.
Yeah.
And I think that kind of roughly maybe is a little bit comparable to that system, or not at all. I don't know.
I haven't played Ni no Kuni since PS3, so it's hard for me to remember everything. But yeah, you did get little like creature things from what I remember.
Yeah, and I love that. I think that's a really cool concept. But like the concept of Pokemon itself, it's just, I was too old. It sucks.
Sure.
It sounds cool. Like the concept of it sounds cool. Like the upgrading and stuff. I really like that. I love the consistency of it. But yeah, I hope for you guys that they evolve the the series at some point and make it actually a good game. That would be nice.
They take some leaps, but it's never, in my experience, what I've played, I've not played every Pokemon game. It's just not enough, and it should be more for how popular and how big these games are. I feel like it's kind of like, it's just disappointing in that sense where there's so much, because there is so much potential in these games and you can see it in them often. And there's some cool aspects, don't get me wrong, about these games that I like. Like, I've really enjoyed playing some of the older ones that I've gone through, like Black and White. I really enjoyed and stuff like that. Emerald was great. All those kind of games I had fun playing and they're cool. But it's like, now we're on a console. We're on a brand new console. We're on Switch 2. And the game runs good so far, which is a good step because Scarlet and Violet, from when I played that game, ran like hot dog shit when it came out immediately on Switch. But so that's good. It's at least running well. But you just look at it visually, the artistic design, the textures and stuff like that. You're just kind of like, it should be more. It needs to be more. It's just disappointing because there is so much potential there. And like I was saying, I'm bragging on this game a lot and there is a lot of problems with it. But there's some simple pleasures there that you could have fun with, I think, depending on your expectations. And I'm still super early, so I don't know how I'll feel. Maybe I'll get more annoyed at the game. Maybe I'll cool off on a bit, or maybe I'll just start to enjoy what's there. But for right now, it is disappointing. I'm hoping Pokemon Company, especially with Gen 10 next year, like Gen 10 is like the next real test, I would say. That's like the next real big deal. This is a spinoff. So I'm hoping that goes the extra mile, but I doubt it. Because Legends, the first game, this is Legends technically too, people did like that game and there's cool aspects of it and I heard good things about it. So to hear this one kind of seems like a step backwards or not really pushing the bar is disappointing. But I will definitely continue to play more in the future because it is an easy play. It's not demanding at all. So I do want to see it through to the end. I just gotta get there, and I'll report back in the future when I play more of it. But yeah, just first impressions overall, not great, needs work, but there's some small fun to be had there if you can find it.
Dude, laughing at the writing, that's fun.
Yeah.
The screenshot that Maddie posted where it's like, this taxi driver has a taxi dream, and it's like, sucks.
That guy was a taxi. Yeah, he was like a taxi guy. Because he's like the first boss quote you fight in the game like that. Yeah. Pokemon is pretty lighthearted and some of that stuff. There's some cool like Pokemon stories kind of sometimes. They get slightly dark. I was like kind of surprised. But so far, it's just very early, but I don't know. Who wrote in about this? It was MTQ. I think they said the story concluding X and Y arcs is fantastic. So I'm curious about that. It's like got that really tall old guy that Micah likes. So I did run into him in the game, Micah, very early on. So we'll see.
Well, it's actually, what's funny is, we can complain about the writing. However, everybody flipped out when that leak happened. They discovered like the half Pokemon, half human child storyline. And so, know what? It's our fault that the writing is so simplistic because we won't let them cook. They have some really deep ideas in there and we rejected it.
Sometimes they cook. Like I liked the Black and White story and stuff like that. I think they cook sometimes, or they did. But those leaks, that's overcooking. That's like burning the food to a crisp. Like too far. Come back a little bit. They need to find that nice in-between space. They gotta stop being so unhinged.
What do you think they need to do to make it better for you personally?
For me, it needs to feel high budget, first of all. It needs to feel like a big budget game with that name attached to it for how big these games are. It's kind of just shocking. Like I get it's a Switch and Switch 2 game. I totally understand that, but it still feels even cheap from that regard. And it is cheap. We've seen the budgets for these games and how cheap they are to make. And I want there to be like 5 years with no Pokemon game. They just cook on one game for that long.
Sure.
Not going to happen because we've already seen the leaks up to 2030. We're getting like 3 or 4 more games until then.
Wow.
So that ain't happening anytime soon.
Would you like something more akin to like Pal Worlds?
I haven't played Power World, so I don't know exactly. As far as all I know about that game is enslaving pals and making them work on your farm. That's all I know about that game. Yeah. So, and there's guns. So it's hard for me to say. What I like, Lock, is I think Scarlet and Violet. Like I didn't play all Scarlet and Violet. I played some of it though when it came out, and I liked some of the ideas of it, Locke, where I was like, oh, this seems a little more fresh, a little more freedom going on here. So I kind of want them to expand on the exploration stuff. I want it to feel like a big deal going out into a space and like tracking a Pokemon and catching them and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Using the Pokemon in cool ways for like traversal. Like they've done this in the old games, like waterfalls. You can go up a waterfall and a Pokemon. I want it to look really sick when you're like riding on your Pokemon going up the waterfall and stuff like that. I just want some sense of danger. I mean, Pokemon games they mainly appeal to children, so you don't want to get too crazy for a lot of that kind of stuff. I totally understand that, but I want it to feel like a big deal going out into the world and catching stuff, is what I'm saying, basically.
Yeah.
And like I've said, there's still many holes I don't know in Pokemon that I haven't played, so I'm not an expert, but that's what I'm looking for from the games. So we'll see. Not having flat textures everywhere would be a good start, though. So we'll see how that goes in the future.
It would also, Brad, like, it would be nice because, yeah, we can acknowledge that the games are incredibly popular with children, but it's one of those of like, yeah, but they can keep also making games that are more child friendly while also doing a game for the more mature gamer. Like you can have your Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee, you can have your Pokemon Snap, and you can continue to make games that are more simplistic for the younger audience, but it would be sick if they actually made one. This usually doesn't work out because a lot of times when games are like, this is a mature storyline, and a lot of times it does not work out. Astria Ascending, I'm side-eyeing you so hard right now. But it would be cool if they attempted it. It'd be cool if there was an effort made to say, we recognize a lot of our fans are almost 40, and it'd be really cool to have a game that felt like it was made for you versus it's appropriate for all ages. And in just if you're gonna, we saw it with the leaks, if you're gonna continue to churn out a game a year, you can make one for me, one for them, one for me, one for them.
They just need to, I think, slow down how many games they put out. They won't. I don't know why.
They publicly acknowledged that, and when in terms of the quality issues, I think with Scarlet and Violet, and they acknowledged that perhaps they should slow down. They're not doing it. It almost, it really is with the budget and everything. It's like they're just printing money and they know it.
Yeah.
So it's like they're not going to slow down unless people actually stop buying them. Unless people actually do say, no, I don't want it. But it's also, to your point, Brad, it's not so broken that you'd say don't buy this thing. It's not so broken. It's just lower quality. It's not a buggy mess that crashes every 5 minutes.
Right.
Like you're not saying don't buy this game. It's just not impressive.
I would say, okay, so it's not like broken from a technical standpoint, but I remember Scarlet and Violet ran so bad where I was like, don't buy this game because it runs awful. Like this hasn't run like that to me yet. I haven't seen any like game ending glitches or anything like that, but this is not a game I could recommend to pretty much most people. Very small subset of people who know what they're getting into, kind of thing. If you're like, oh, you just kind of want to wander around, catch Pokemon, keep it simple. Sure, whatever, if you don't care about any of that stuff. But for most people, nah, I would say no. All right, let's move on to our next game, which is Ball Pit, which is all the rage right now. Locke, you've been playing this. Let me read this real quick from NeoJD. He said, is the game living up to the hype for you, Locke? P.S. How's the no smoking journey?
The no smoking journey is wonderful. I mean, in that I don't smoke, I still want one daily, especially during stressful days like today. But not smoking still, so that's good. My lungs feel so much better. Like I was watching an old episode, I think of Summon Sign, or I was listening to it when I was going somewhere where I was on it, and I could hear my lungs like wheeze. And I don't do that as much anymore, which is nice. Which is nice to hear.
That is good, yeah.
And what was the other question? Does it live up to the hype? Yeah,
Ball Pit. I guess let's talk about it. So what the hell is Ball Pit, Locke?
Well, thank you, Brad, for ruining my weekend, basically. Because on Friday you asked me to be on the show, and I figured, well, I just finished Yote, and I loved Yote. I thought it was amazing. But you already had two people talk about it on the show, so I figured a third time, that's a bit too much. So my other game was an old game that we'll talk about later. So I figured, well, you always have to bring two games, and I figured like the new game or the other game should be a newer game. So I figured, okay, either Mega Bunk or Ball X-Pit or Ball Pit. So I figured, okay, on Friday we were talking. I figured, okay, well, I'll just buy it right now. It's $15 on Steam. I'll just buy it right now. And it's addictive as hell.
I know. So everybody's been playing it.
Yeah, I bought it on Friday. I already have 15 hours in it in like 3 days because it's amazing. Like I played all the way through the night. During the day I had to do stuff, but all the way through the night, it's just so addictive. It's developed by Kenny Sun, who's like a one-person developer, but this was the first game where he worked with a team. So we had 6 people working for him. It's published by Devolver Digital. They always have cool games like Cult of the Lamb, for instance. This is another one of those cool little games. The story is very silly. It's the city of Babylon is destroyed by a massive sphere, and it basically leaves a giant pit next to the destroyed city. And the premise of the game is you send people down the pit to retrieve resources and to defeat enemies, of course, to rebuild the city. That's basically the entire story. But what is it? What is Ball Pit? Basically, it's straight from the Steam page, a brick-breaking, ball-fusing, base building survival roguelite. And that's a mouthful, but it's pretty accurate, actually. Think of Arkanoid, Space Invaders, even Twin Breaker from Colin and Last at Media, Tribreaker, of course. But there's a lot of cool twists to it. So it takes place on the outskirts of the destroyed city of Babylon. There's this machine, basically, and the machine lowers you down into the pit. And there you can select a map. You have a couple of maps to start out with. Of course, later on, there will be more maps. And you have to upgrade the machine to be able to go lower and reach the other maps. And the maps are basically just rectangles on your screen. And it's gonna sound stupid, but it's amazing. Enemies just come down, just like in other games like this. The difference, however, is that you're not shooting weird little. Well, you are shooting weird little things, but you're basically shooting bouncing balls. So you start off with one ball. Goes that way, then it bounces there. But you also have different characters. You have the twins, for instance, who shoot 2 different balls to different sides, or the Shade, who shoots balls that goes through enemies. And during your stay on that map, you also collect gems. If you kill enemies, they leave gems and they leave money. And you collect these gems, and with these gems, you can, during your run, you can upgrade your balls, and you can get more balls. You can get poison balls or fire balls or freeze balls, lightning balls. You get lava lines, balls that multiply, balls that heal you. You can also get other attacks like little bull figurines that come from the bottom, go up, and basically stop the other enemies from coming down. You can fuse balls together, make them more powerful. You can create hybrids, so lava and freeze make like a lava freeze ball, I guess. Your stats go higher and everything stacks. So at the end of a map, it usually takes between 10 to 15 minutes, one map, depending on how fast you set the difficulty.
10 to 15 minutes. Wow, that's kind of long for what I've seen of the game. I'm like,
It depends, because later on, when you get stronger characters, it goes faster, of course, because you get get other bouncing balls. But it all stacks together, and then at the end, there's a boss. You defeat the boss, and boom, you're done. You defeated the boss, and you figured, okay, cool, that's a cool little game. I can pour a couple of hours into that. But there's a whole nother game to it, which is really cool, because then the machine takes you back up to the destroyed city of Babylon, and you have to rebuild the city, basically, because when enemies die, they also leave behind blueprints. And with these blueprints, you can go into the village and you can build buildings or farms or houses that have new characters, which you can then take down to the pit, or fields and forests and stone quarries. So you basically harvest new stuff in this village as well. You place your buildings a certain way, you place your fields a certain way, like everything is like square tiles. Kind of like what's that game? Like any other farming game, basically. Stardew Valley or anything else. You place your tiles and then you bounce in your village. So you harvest, and by harvesting, you basically send your characters and they just bounce around for 10 seconds and they harvest anything they hit, or when they hit a building, it upgrades, or you can use it that way, or it upgrades to something else. And every building you can upgrade to higher tiers. They require stone, wheat, or wood. So those are also resources you have to gather. And the positioning is really important of these buildings too, because one building gives buffs to the other building, and then that building gives you a new character that you can take down into the pit. But if you place it on the other side of your little map area, it gets other buffs. So it's very intricate. There's so many possibilities to it. You also have to play levels multiple times, because every time you bring a new character, he gets different stuff, and you get gears, and with those gears, you upgrade the machine that take you down in the pit. And at first it requires 2 gears to go down another map, then it requires 3 gears, and so on and so on. So it's a wonderful, super addictive game. It probably sounds really dumb when somebody's trying to explain it. Like when I was trying to figure out how the hell am I going to talk about this, because it's such a weird premise that probably sounds very idiotic, but it's so addictive. It's so fun. It works so well. That's one of the things that made me keep playing it. Everything is obviously play tested. I don't know how long they worked on it, but everything works perfectly. No bugs, no nonsense. Everything works exactly as intended. So this guy, Kenny Sun, he should be really proud of himself and his team, because I think the game is doing really well.
Yeah,
and rightfully so, because it's amazing. I would recommend this game to basically anyone, because I'm not the target audience for a game like this. I played Vampire Survivors, of course, which I really loved, but that's like a unique game for someone like me. But normally I would never buy something like this. I've only bought like Stardew Valley, of course, or other games like that. There Will Be Billions. It kind of reminded me of that one too. That's another one of those types of games that I bought, or Cult of the Lamb, another one of those quirky little games. But this, I think it's perfect for mobile too. I don't know if it is on phones. I presume it is, but it's perfect. I'm playing it on desktop with a controller. I think it's on console too.
Yeah, I think so.
It's only $15. It's so far, I'm 14 to 15 hours in, and I'm only on the 5th map. Of 5 levels, and I don't know how many there are. It could be that there are 10 or 20. I have no idea, but it's definitely already been worth my money so far. So yeah, I think this game is awesome. Great.
Yeah, I
great
think
game.
it's on everything. I just say it's on Switch. I just saw right now. So
yeah, it should
looks
be.
like it. Just listing over there.
Yeah, it's a perfect Steam Deck Switch game. Yeah,
amazing. This game's kind of. It's like a Mega Bonk this year. It's just kind of like coming out of nowhere. People are really loving it. This like small, simple, arcadey kind of indie game. And it looks really fun to me. I was watching some video footage of it, Lock, and what I like, it almost turned like a bullet hell at some parts where you just had so much shit flying at you and there's so much going on. It really scratches that dopamine arcadey kind of itch.
Yeah,
definitely. Every now and then for me. So it looks really good.
Especially when combined with the strategic value of building the little village and where to place everything. It's really cool how those things work together here.
How's the difficulty been for you? Has it been challenging, or is it just kind of chill to go through?
Another thing that's perfectly tailored to someone like me. Because at first I was just playing and it went a little bit slow, right? The first character you play as, it's a knight, and I thought, okay, this is pretty cool, but it goes a little bit slow. But then I found that you can up the challenge by going faster. So now I'm always playing on the highest difficulty. And of course, the lower you go, the harder the maps become. Like the enemies start shooting at you, or they have different shapes now, or the bosses are harder, or they multiply, but so do your balls. Like everything works together so well.
Cool. It looks awesome.
Yeah, it's go ahead.
No, go ahead. No, it's okay.
It's rare. I think for someone to meet, maybe you guys remember this game from a long time ago, World of Goo. Does that ring a bell?
Yeah, I remember that.
I don't know why, but it kind of reminded me of World of Goo, because that was another game that was so simple, so easy, so silly when you talk about it, but so addictive and so fun to play. And so it's one of those games, well, I've had it for 3 nights in a row now, where I get home pretty late because I had to take care of something. I get home at like 11 p.m., and then suddenly it's like 4 a.m. because you're playing with stupid balls. Well, not literally, but
ball pit, dude. You're addicted.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah, definitely. So, yeah, I can't wait to finish it. One of those games where you really want to finish it too, because it's cool. It just keeps ramping up.
Yeah, it looks awesome. Micah, I don't know if you've looked at any footage of this, or does this game sound interesting or appealing to you at all?
It's not one that I want to play, but I believe it's on Colin's list. I'm pretty sure this is a game that he was interested in, so I'm excited for whenever he gets around to it. Specifically, what you mentioned, Brad, and you're like, oh, it kind of looks like a bullet hell at some points. I hate that. That is just anxiety city. So, because really, in terms of like super chaotic games, like Vampire Survivors is the rare exception of a game like that, where I'm like, man, I'm loving having all these guys coming at me at once, and like it's like really fucking hectic and shit. But I don't usually enjoy games like that, generally speaking. My favorite games are Fire Emblem, slowed down, turn-based, tactical,
Sure.
It is like Vampire Survivors, though. Like, you don't really have to do anything. Like, you basically move in a little rectangle, so there's not a lot of room to maneuver. So bullet hell is like a right description, but in the same way as Vampire Survivors is. Like, enemies just keep coming towards you, but you automatically take care of them.
Constantly, yeah.
It's not like you have to quickly shift from one side to the other. The game basically takes care of it for you. You just have to select which balls and then position your balls in certain angles. Makes it so maybe you will like it, but who knows?
I might. That might be something that I do pick up for myself after watching Colin play it. Because there are times when games aren't like wicked story heavy. There are times when I say, "Oh, that looks fun. I'm gonna buy it." Depending on the game, sometimes watching him play it ruins it, and then I don't want to play it. Like Ghost of Yotei is an example of that game. The story is so important to the experience, and like while the gameplay looks super cool. Observing Colin play it, I'm not going to play it myself because, or maybe I would like 5 years from now. But observing the entire story, I'm like, nah. But something like this, I may say, oh, that looks wicked fun. I'll pick it up myself.
Yeah. All right, Micah, let's talk about Golf Story. Let me read this from Clark Petrie before you begin, though. Micah, you're rocking a classic GOAT, Final Fantasy Tactics, and a contemporary, albeit niche GOAT, Golf Story. What prompted playing Golf Story? Please provide an unhinged 10 to 15 minutes on both titles. We'll get to Final Fantasy Tactics later. But Golf Story. Why are you playing this? Well, what caught your attention?
The why. So I was so angry at Final Fantasy Tactics that I went to my shelf of games and said, I just want to have some fun.
Oh, no.
So I picked out Golf Story. We'll get to Final Fantasy Tactics later. This game was sent to me by a viewer of my old YouTube channel back in the day. And I just never actually got around to playing it. So I just wanted to have some fun over the weekend. And I said, well, let's check out Golf Story. And it's really, really cute. First of all, like super cute. I love the art style. Basic premise in this game, you are trying to impress your ex by becoming a pro golfer. So you're going around the golf courses, you're completing various like skill challenges and, actual rounds of golf, of course. The challenges and the courses so far have had a nice variety and a fair level of challenge. I haven't felt like, oh my God, that's impossible. I can't do that. Instead, it's feeling like I just got to practice a couple more times. I can do this. And so far, that's been true. The game also makes it quite obvious when you are just not powerful enough for something, because as you play, you level up your guy and you spend your skill points on his golf attributes. For example, there's one dude who just has a challenge where you just need to hit the ball like really, really far, to a certain target. And you'll try it and realize I'm flat out not strong enough. This isn't me hitting the buttons incorrectly. I simply have not leveled up my power. So you'll come back to him later. It's things like that where it's just very obvious what you need to do is just wait and come back and you let that simmer. The game doesn't give you a ton of explanation on the golf mechanics, but I was able to just Google a guide real quick and read an actual explanation. And once I actually knew for sure what I was doing, like the game is like, oh, just press the A button twice and you're off. And it just doesn't really explain the finer points of technique. Because there's also options to like do like a precision like shot where you kind of like you line it up on screen and then it gives you a secondary target basically on your power meter to hit. It just doesn't really explain those things, but you Google it and you can find a well-written guide, and in one paragraph you say, oh, I understand. It's very simple to do. It's just one of those, they didn't explain it. So I'm enjoying it once I know what to do. The dialogue is excellent, like legitimately funny. I like all the characters so far. They're distinct. They're written well. That was just a surprise to me. I knew that this game was well regarded, and I thought it was strictly because of the gameplay, which is great so far. But like the characters and the dialogue are super funny, and I'm enjoying that part. The game has a quick play feature. So one or two players can enjoy a round of golf outside the story mode, and you set various things on that, what parameters you want to play with. Another thing I really praise about the game is that there's a notes feature that it's extremely simplistic, but I have to say it's better than a lot of games I have played because it's just so straightforward. In the notes, it'll show you the character icon and the last thing they asked you for. So I open it up. I have, 5 tasks, what I'm currently working on. But I just we've all been there in games where you feel like I can't stop playing this right now because I will not remember what I was doing. The game does not have a good enough journal or notes system to prompt you with what you were doing when you come back into it. And you're like, I gotta either finish this task or just start it again tomorrow because I'm not gonna know what I was doing. Not so here. Each little character has their little icon and the last thing they asked you for. Like this guy told me to go to the pro shop and buy something. This guy told me to go play a round of golf at this course. So I just love when games make it easy to return to them after putting them down because I just can't stand that feeling of I just can't figure out what I was doing. I didn't have any time to game last night, and now it's been 48 hours, and I can't remember what the fuck I was doing, and I can't figure it out. I hate that feeling. Yeah. And the actual golf itself is very fun. You kind of have like standard golf game. You have a power meter to sort of determine how far the shot's going to go, and then there's an accuracy that you have to hit to actually land on your target. And the little skills competitions, little skills challenges, I should say, so far has been a good amount of variety. One of them is that there were these like giant golf balls scattered around and you hit them into certain targets and it's actually really cute. Like a fish will jump up and catch it out of the lake, and you do that all around the course. There's another one, like I mentioned, the guy who just says can you hit that target? And they just get progressively farther and farther away. But there's actually another cute one. You're golfing against this, child, and she's really not very good, but she plays golf in an interesting way. And so she's like, I want you to hit that target, but you have to make the ball bounce off of the sidewalk first. And so you can't just do a perfect shot over the target. You have to figure out how to get the ball to bounce one time and then land over there. So there's been a nice variety of the challenges and the difficulty level of them. And again, so far, it hasn't been anything I can't conquer with a couple practice tries. Or it's even more straightforward things like there was a little course where all the holes are par 3 and the guy says, can you do them all with par 2? And it's been very fun. It's very fun so far, simplistic. I like the little story they're telling. I'm actually quite interested in it. I wasn't expecting to be so invested in this dude who wants to impress his ex by becoming a pro golfer, and now I'm fucking here for it.
Yeah, it looks really nice visually. I was looking at like a video of it really quick, and it looks really cool. I like the art style a lot. Very charming. I think they made a sequel to this game, but it's like a different sport, I want to say. Like Soccer Story, maybe? I forgot what it was. Oh, yeah, Soccer Story. I think that's what it is.
Yeah, I am unfamiliar because this was gifted to me.
Right.
It's a limited run copy is what I have. And I remember when I opened it, and at the time one of my friends was like, people are going to be really mad you opened that. And I was like, well, I'm going to play it. So I don't see what the fucking big deal is.
Yeah.
because I'll say too, if you're a fan of old school games, this is a game where like the Notes app the Notes feature is fantastic. It is also though quite hands off in terms of some of the generalities of what to do. Like I did have to Google at first, like I was Googling in the first 15 minutes, like, where do I go next? Because it is kind of an old school game of like, they wanted me to go talk to all the NPCs. But in the modern lens of gaming, a lot of times that's a waste of time and pointless. You know, in older games, that was the way you play it. You did go around town and talk to everybody. And some modern games, just watching Colin play Ghost of Tsushima again, for example, and watching him go around and talk to NPCs, and multiple of them said the same exact thing to Jin in the same location. We are somewhat trained in modern games to follow the objective marker and not to actually talk to everyone because it's just often a waste of time. The NPCs don't always have unique things to say. The things they have to say might not actually be task related. The things they have to say might just be world building. And so you do have to get into that old school game mindset of like the point right now is to talk to everyone in town. And they're going to tell you interesting things, and they're going to give you, they also do like some of the more important NPCs do have like little conversation bubbles above their head. Literally though, like when you like start up this new area, like you don't see a single one of those in sight. And you're kind of walking around. It's like, there's nothing distinct about any of these people. And then it's like, okay, you use it to kind of go further out. But that's interesting for someone like myself who doesn't play a ton of old school games. But if you love retro games, I think that's a big selling point, is that it's not, you know, objective markers everywhere on screen. You are just bebopping around and finding your way around the map and interacting with the NPCs, and it's worthwhile to do so. They're not just gonna all repeat the same thing like what happens in modern games sometimes.
But yeah, charming little video game. It's probably pretty cheap now, especially because it's been out. This came out in 2017, so it's been a while. But yeah, it looks really fun. I like golf games, so I'm sure I would enjoy this. Locke, would you have any interest in playing a golf RPG?
Is this that game that Colin was playing on Sacred Streaming, where he
no.
That's not the same one.
No. What, Everybody Golf?
Yeah.
Or something?
Oh yeah.
That's their most recent entry from that series, I believe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this is like a completely different thing.
Oh, okay. Because the premise sounds really, really funny, like impressing your ex by becoming a golfer. That's something I haven't heard yet. So I like that. But what is the gameplay like? What do you actually do in the game? What do you play? You play golf?
Yeah.
Oh, exactly. So yeah, you are doing rounds of golf where you actually are going to play like 9 holes in a row. You also are doing these little challenges for people. So the little skills challenges. So like you walk up to the guy and he says, I want you to hit it this far. And you see if you can do it. Or feeding the fish around the lake. They're all golf mechanics. So like everything you're doing is involving swinging a golf club, but you are just doing them for various reasons.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is all focused around the golf and actually doing the courses and like there'll be interesting things like the course where they're like, okay, you gotta do this, you know, in par 2 instead of par 3. But they also made it so like the actual like the holes that you're hitting into are like oversized. So it's really fun to try and get like a hole in one on each one. It's still challenging because there's factors like the wind and your own accuracy to account for, but they make it very fun and just change things up frequently. So you're playing the same course you just played, however they change it drastically. So, and there's of course like they do neat little things. Like there are these moles that appear on the course, and if you hit your ball too close to one of the moles, they'll steal your ball and like put it in the sand trap, or like they'll put it somewhere else, and so you gotta avoid those. For example, it's cute little obstacles like that make it a little different than your standard golf game. Instead of just hitting it into the sand, it's like this fucking mole stole your ball and threw it over there.
Yeah, that's funny.
What are the RPG mechanics like? What do you level up? Is it your stats or?
Yes. So he has a whole list of golf attributes, and it's like power, spin. I actually don't play a lot of golf games, so I was struggling, for example, to read the scorecard. And I was like, I think I'm winning. I waited until the end to find out I won because I was like, I actually don't know how this works. But he has a whole list of attributes, powers, spin, accuracy. There's like, I think 6 of them. So you get skill points. Every time you level up, you get a few skill points to spend. And you do have to balance them because if you strictly level up his power, you will affect your accuracy. So you need to balance them out of like, okay, I want to raise up the accuracy by this many points. I'm going to bump up the power a little bit, but you don't want him to just be like a fucking powerhouse or else your other attributes will suffer. So there's a good part to that of like, wow, yeah, you can't just fucking send it. you do need to care about accuracy. In his attributes and all that. And I'll say too, as of now, you're leveling up often enough that it feels rewarding. I'm not leveling up after every task or anything, but I talk to a couple NPCs, I do a couple little challenges, and I level up. So far they're rewarding me consistently enough that it's staying fun that way.
Cool.
Okay.
How do you have any idea how long? Is it like a long game or is it like 15 hours, 10 hours?
Yeah, How Long to Beat, I believe, had it at around 15 to 18 hours.
Okay.
I think it's longer if you go for like the completionist run, but I believe the main story entry was like 15 hours and the main plus extra was around 18.
Cool.
Okay.
It sounds really interesting. Unique.
Yeah, super unique.
Do you like it? Are you enjoying yourself?
Like she's having a good time.
Oh yeah. No, I am having fun. My only gripe at the beginning was I was like, I feel like you didn't actually explain to me the finer points of how to play.
Yeah.
I feel like you didn't actually tell me how to be good at this. And it does until I Googled it, I felt like I was just kind of hitting my head against the wall, but what part of this makes it more accurate? What part of this makes me better? It also you have to cycle between all your golf clubs. Of course, not being a golfer, I don't fucking know which one's which. They make that part easy because when you cycle through, it just has a gauge of how far the ball's going to go. So it's very obvious to say, oh, you should not use the putter for this. You should not use the iron for this, right? Mm. But they also don't. The tutorial, I hate long tutorials. This game could have used a longer tutorial just to go over the finer points of selecting the club, using the precision mode type deal. There's also a weird bug where if you're playing this in tablet mode and you want to use a Pro controller, you have to disconnect the Joy-Cons because it will just recognize the Joy-Cons by default and you can't turn that off. On the Switch Lite, you can turn it off because the Joy-Cons don't detach, but you can't do that on a regular Switch or Switch 2, which was just interesting. So at first I thought, oh shit, I'm going to have to play this whole thing in handheld mode. I can't use my Pro controller. And then go on Reddit and it said just remove the Joy-Cons because just by default, it sees the Joy-Cons, it's using those. And if it's in TV mode, that doesn't matter at all. It lets you use the Pro controller. But that's just an interesting thing that was never fixed. Because it is a Switch 1 game, and that's just a little weird.
Yeah. Sure. All right. Very nice, Micah. Golf story. All right, guys. Let's move on to Sort It Out. On this segment, we just talk about something that needs sorted in the game industry, something we're not too happy with. Could be a game, company, person, whatever. How personal you want to get, it's fine. Lockmort, let's start with you. Is there anything that you think needs sorting out this week?
I have a very stupid one, but I have myself for sorting out. Because I once again did the thing I say every year I shouldn't do. And it is I bought Battlefield 6.
Yeah, you
but
did.
The older I get, the more frustrated I get with Call of Duty and Battlefield. Not because they're bad games, but because I'm getting worse. And this year, it was just, I finally hit the critical point of just, I can't do it anymore. My reflexes are pretty decent in normal games, but in games like this where you're playing against Zoomers or younger people, I should say. It's just I can't do it. I can't do it. I get so frustrated and angry with myself, and then angry with the game, and I just quit. And because we always play together with Brad and Dustin and Ben and a bunch of other people, and this was the first year where I think I played it for 3 hours and I was good. So I wasted basically $50-$60, which is a very dumb decision because I already knew it was going to happen. So I hope next year I finally have the wisdom to just not buy it because I'm not going to enjoy it. I also didn't play the campaign. I don't know. Do you play the campaign?
I don't have any interest in playing it.
Yeah. The campaign, you mean? Yeah.
The campaign. Yeah. Battlefield is just multiplayer for me mostly.
Yeah. I used to love Battlefield 1942. I thought that was one of my favorite games in college. It was so much fun. And the older Call of Duties too. But now it happens to everyone, I guess, at a certain point. Maybe not. Maybe I'm just just the worst ever. Sure. But it's just the reflexes. I see someone, I shoot, and I'm dead. And I'm just, okay, well, what am I supposed to do? And it just happens over and over and over again. And I can get a couple of kills, or I can get a positive KD if I really try and get really sweaty. But what is the point if you're not having fun? So
yeah, for sure.
Bye Battlefield. Great game, but I can't do it anymore.
Just not for you right now.
Yeah.
Totally fair. Micah, what about you? Anything you think needs sorting out this week?
So I've heard about the issues so far with Plants vs. Zombies Replanted of the people who are able to play it early, and it sounds very not good. And I mean, this is a major disappointment. I was super excited because I've actually never played the original Plants vs. Zombies. I've only played the Garden Warfare, multiplayer series. So I was super excited about this and like, oh man, I'm going to hop right in. But as of right now, it does not sound like a great experience. Does not sound like a lot of fun. Obviously, they are playing it early. Maybe there's a big day one patch to fix all of it.
Hopefully.
But it's massively disappointing when you're like, well, this game came out in 2009? 2010? These games worked on mobile a very long time ago as well. And the port is bad? That's shocking. It's disappointing. It's just, if that's really what the product's going to end up being, it's just a shameless cash grab. So I really hope that there is a patch that fixes the issues, because it's not even, people are upset about like the AI upscaling and stuff like that. And even setting that aside, because a lot of people are like, it's just not implemented well. But it's even things like the menu music being incorrect, or music playing at inappropriate times. Things like that of like, this game is just buggy. This game is just not working. Even just the menu music being broken is like, are you kidding me? This game is old. It should be pretty easy to do a decent port of this. So it feels like it was just hastily and lazily made. And that's just majorly disappointing. So I will withhold final judgment until we actually see if it gets like a patch to fix all this shit. Because of course, these people are playing it early. The game is not officially out yet.
Yeah.
But I have a lot of doubts on if it'll actually be a great experience, even if it's somewhat fixed. I'm just like, that sucks that it was like that in the first place. I don't know how that happens,
Yeah. I think that's totally fair, Micah. For me, mine's just for the Pokemon Company. You guys can do better. We all know you can do better. Come on. Give it the time it needs. Give it a bigger budget if it needs it. Let it cook for a little bit. We want that big Pokemon game. Everyone wants to celebrate a great Pokemon game. And people are upset because they love Pokemon. So do a good game. A really nice visual.
Do a good game.
Do a good game. Do it. Just do it. Yeah. Do a good game.
Be willing to take like 2% less profit to make a better game.
Sure. Yeah. Give it an extra year in the oven. Yeah.
Like something we discussed on Punching Up was that they're not only making money on the games. The merchandising is fucking huge.
Yep.
Like Pokemon is just an enormous like IP. and they're making so much money off of this stuff. The stuffed animals at Target and everything, like
cards,
the clothing, everything. And because the age range is so wide of people who like Pokemon, it's like you go to Hot Topic, they got Pokemon shirts for the adults. You go to, Babies R Us, I think, and they got. Does Babies R Us still exist?
I don't know if that exists anymore. Yeah.
But once upon a time, you could buy your baby a Pikachu onesie. I just fucking bought. Last Christmas, I bought my best friend's child some Pikachu pajamas, all right? She was 8 that year. So, like, the age range is huge. They're making money off of everybody in the world, basically. They could make a better game.
Yeah, you can do better.
Just take 1% less profit and put it towards making a better game.
Yeah, you can do it, guys. I would love the day where I'm just like, man, this is a great Pokemon game. That's what I want again. Recommend. Like, yo, you've been out for a while? Time to come back. Not yet. Hopefully soon in the future, though.
We gotta all start wearing little hats that say "Make Pokemon Great Again."
Yeah.
That'll do it.
Yeah, that'll do it. All right. This is from Bulbous Bow. Sorted out to Brad for defending the variety of depth of Sony's storytelling by citing Gran Turismo and MLB The Show. Long day. Now, Bulbous Bow, thank you for that Reddit tier comment. I was talking about specifically how I was complaining about and making fun of people that say every Sony first-party game is about revenge. And I was just giving an example of games that aren't about revenge and are fun. You didn't list Astrobot like I did. You didn't list Concord like I did. So I understand what you're saying to an extent. I get it. Let's calm down, all right? Let's relax.
Is that like the thing now? Saying that every Sony exclusive is
there
about
was an
revenge?
IGN article about this.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
Weirdo.
Well, there is too, though. Like Colin and I, because I'm out of the loop on this, but like Colin and I I was watching him play Ghost of Yotei, and I'm like, oh yeah, there's the big white splotch to tell you can climb that mountain.
Oh, hell yeah.
There's just Sony marker to tell you where you can climb. But of course, that's just how a lot of games operate.
Yeah, that's
but
not
we
just
do,
Sony
it's like,
games.
we do make fun of the Sony grass.
Yeah,
Everyone go hide in the tall grass.
Well, of course,
do a shimmy through a tight space.
Yeah. I'm not saying Sony games don't have a lot in common. Of course they do.
But no, you named valid choices like Astrobot. Like these are, of course, completely different.
And like recent
games.
examples, I was bringing.
There is variety.
That's also not Sony. Those are just third person open world games. Like it happened in Jedi Survivor too. That's not a Sony game.
Assassin's Creed,
or
all that shit.
Yeah. Or Tomb Raider or whatever. But it is, well, now that I think about it, maybe it is a little bit true, I guess. They're all kind of centered about revenge.
There. Yeah.
But revenge is just a cool concept. Like, of course, a game is centered around revenge. Like Red Dead Redemption 1 is centered around revenge too. Like a lot of cool games
I think
are.
I'm trying to remember who I was talking this about with it. Maybe it was Hogue who I was talking about, but we're saying it's like, just because it's a revenge thing doesn't mean it's the same or something like that.
Yeah.
People brought up examples. I forgot who did this, but saying like Kill Bill is a revenge story.
Yeah.
And like something else that's a revenge story. They're not exactly the same. I forgot what the movie was off my
I
head.
wouldn't even call Ghost of Tsushima a revenge story.
No,
like you're trying to liberate your country. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not.
Yeah.
But like,
The Last of Us 2,
trust me, I love making fun of like The Last of Us Part 2, revenge bad kind of thing like that. So don't get me wrong there. But I was calling out like people are being stupid. It's a blanket statement as they do. And I'm like, no, that's just silly. There's plenty to make fun of, but at least be good about it.
They should have said that most or a lot of Sony exclusives are third-person action games. Because that is true, and that's the problem, I feel like. They need a first-person shooter, and they need
they did, and it crashed and burned.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. But like bring back Killzone or something like that. Something not third-person.
I would love for Killzone to come back. I don't know
or new
if they would be as big as they would maybe want. I don't know, but sure. Or a brand new IP. Sure. Yeah,
new IP.
Absolutely.
Because I do agree with that. That's sorely missing this whole generation, really. Also on, well, maybe not on Xbox. Like, there's so many good or excellent third-person action adventures, but so little innovation anywhere else. Like, what's the last great first-person shooter you played? Like Doom?
FPS shooter that I played?
Doom was great, but it was more of the same.
I didn't love Doom: The Dark Ages. It's kind of whatever to me.
Sure.
Sadly.
Vampire Bloodlines 2, not great.
Yeah, first person, like, I don't know. I mean, it's hard for me to say because I haven't played everything, and there's so much shit I haven't played yet. Like, I haven't even played through Oblivion yet. Like, we've talked about this. Like, and that's not a first-person shooter, I guess, but that's a first-person game, RPG. So, never mind on that.
Or third person. And broken, but still great.
Yeah, I don't know. It's hard for me to say.
It is weird that Sony doesn't seem to have a lot of studios that can do like a first person, because I'm trying to think like
they have Guerrilla, but they're doing Horizon because they did Killzone and stuff like that. Of course, Insomniac, who did Resistance games like that.
Yeah, but they're Marvel now. Yeah.
I think they've just kind of, it seems like to me, and I have no idea if this is true or not, but they're like, why should we compete in this first person space right now in the like the competitive multiplayer kind of sense, I guess.
Yeah.
When there's Call of Duty and other games, like free-to-play games.
Sure.
Why can't I think what the Riot game is called off the top of my head?
Oh, Valorant?
Valorant and stuff like that. Counter-Strike are still humongous games.
But those are live service games, but just a good, like a single-player first-person shooter game, you don't think there's room for that?
I mean, it's possible. I would personally love that, but maybe they don't think the money is there for them or the effort, but they've made a lot of bad mistakes recently, so who the hell knows? Maybe it'd be awesome. They're just dumb, which is very likely. They've made a lot of mistakes, so we'll see. I guess I would love I would love something new. I don't care.
And they still have Astrobot, like you said, and Gran Turismo and other stuff.
Yeah, and the show every year. Just They do have a lot of stuff, but it's I understand where people are coming from. Once again, I was making fun of people that say all Sony games are that.
Yeah, that's. Like you said, the Reddit comment. Yeah.
Thanks for that.
Yeah, you just getting clipped out, and they're like picking and choosing, word by word,
that's
what to include.
But he didn't mean it that way, of course. Like that guy probably didn't mean it that way.
I don't know. Maybe he did. It seemed like a very sarcastic message to me. Or
that's not
when you end it with "long day?" ? Seems a little salty.
Fuck him. What's his name?
That's okay. All right. This is from Julio Mendez. Hola, summoners. Greetings from Venezuela. My sorted out goes to the Pokemon Company and the refusal to provide Game Freak with the resources to make a great Pokemon game. Learning that every single HD Pokemon game has had a PS2 ass budget was the straw that broke the camel's back for me and this franchise. Yeah, no wonder they could not fit all Pokemon during Sword and Shield National Pokedex fiasco with those budgets. I think that's what he meant with those. Some way and somehow, Fire Emblem Xenoblade HD 2D games and Dragon Quest remakes have a higher budget and production values than any Pokemon game ever. Like, what are we doing here? To be clear, I'm not asking for these games to have a AAA budget. Heck, I think having a $3 million budget would make a big difference in providing solid voice acting, better cutscenes, direction. I really feel Pokemon games should have the same levels of fidelity as Dragon Quest XI at the bare minimum. Apologies for the long rant. Please take care of yourselves. Oh, and please take care of yourselves. Well, thank you for at the end. Now, this is interesting. I don't know what the inner works in this company is like, but I don't know if it's the Pokemon Company refusing to give Game Freak resources, because Game Freak is one of the companies that owns the Pokemon Company. There's three companies that own it, which is, I think, Creatures, Nintendo, and Game Freak. So I'm sure they have some power to an extent. I'm sure there is pressure from higher ups or someone else, though, crunching them to a regard. But whoever's making those calls, though, as we said, sort it out, dude. No. All right, this is from Raisin. Howdy, Summoners. I'd like to issue a Sorted Out to Play Dead. Inside came out in 2016. Since then, we've gotten 3 Little Nightmares games, and we're about to get Reanimal. What's taking so long? If Playdead's next game comes out in 2026, that will be an entire decade between games. What gives? Sorted Out Playdead.
Wow,
Yeah, I haven't thought about that. Has it been that long?
2016, really?
I guess so.
Wow. Huh.
I think they had some drama like a year or two ago, didn't they? I'm trying to remember. Don't quote me on that. Yeah, but it's only been Limbo and Inside from them.
Wow.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
Huh.
I don't know what it's like working in that game studio or what they're doing, but yeah, 2016 was their last game. So we're getting close to a decade.
Are they like part of something, or does Xbox own them, or like Embrace?
I don't think Xbox owns them. I think they just published stuff like Limbo at the time.
They're still independent.
That'd be a good question for the Dukes. I don't know off the top of my head. But 10 years is a long time in between games. Damn. Hopefully they get something out soon. All right. Now it's time for Keep It Up. The exact opposite stuff we're pleased with in gaming. I'll go first just because it's something I'm going to talk about soon, which is give it up to Microsoft right here, begrudgingly. They do a lot of bad stuff, but this is good. I'm really happy about this. They made Ninja Gaiden 4 happen. They're the ones that really got involved with the game and worked it out with Team Ninja and got Platinum in there. And it came out and I've been playing it and it's fun. It's great. So I've been having a lot of fun playing that. So I'm very happy Microsoft made this game happen. Thanks, Phil, and whoever else was involved in that. Good shit. More of this, please.
Awesome.
Lockmort, what about you? Anything?
Mine is very simple. Kenny's son, the developer of Ball Pit. I don't know if it's Ball Pit or Ball X Pit. I call it Ball X Pit, but that's wrong. I think it's
probably pronounced Ball Pit, but they do Ball X Pit to not get confused with an actual ball pit.
Yeah,
kids would play at a playground.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I always like it when there's like really small dev teams, like under 10 people. I think what he did here was great, fantastic. What an achievement, and it's selling like crazy. So he's going to be very rich. Too,
very good. Love that.
Well deserved. Great game.
Very nice.
Great dev. Fantastic. So Kenny's son.
Good job, Micah. What about you? Anything you want to keep it up to this week?
I'm gonna begrudgingly also give one to Square Enix because even though I didn't really end up having a lot of fun with Final Fantasy Tactics, I'm glad they did it. I'm glad you did this. I'm glad you put this on the new console so I could try it finally. It's like, no, continue to do this. Continue to bring old games forward. I always will hope for that because there's so many that I missed out on in that era. So thank you. I didn't end up liking it, but thank you for doing this.
Damn. I can't wait till we get to that. What the fuck happened? You were positive before, but something must have happened. Don't say it yet, but I can't wait till
I was somewhat... to be honest, I think the breadcrumbs are always there. They're like, Mike is not having a great time.
Damn. All right. Let's see here. This is from Dennis M. Keep it up, Argonaut Games. About 6 months ago, I wrote into Summit Sign with a sorted out for them for not including a platinum trophy in the Croc remaster. These madmen actually listened to the community's feedback and just launched a Croc remaster platinum edition with 16 new trophies, including a platinum. They even delisted the original remaster and made this edition the new standard. Of course, every owner of the old edition gets the new one for free. I'm not sure if something like this has happened before, but I definitely appreciate it. Damn, that's pretty cool. I don't really know a lot of examples of that happening off the top of my head. That's sick,
people
though.
Usually don't listen to those psychopaths who go for trophies.
That's true. Like your husband, yeah. Exactly. But hey, that's cool, man. I love that. And this is from Logan. Keep it up to Steam Next Fest. Karen and Exo Rally Championship became day one buys after trying the demos. Also crossed a few off the wish list as well. Hell yeah. Very nice. Steam, best ecosystem.
Yep.
Has been and always probably will be. Just that damn good. All right. Now we have a quick game recommendation from the audience. I do one of these per week. I know a lot of you guys send in submissions for this, and I think it's awesome. I love reading through them, but I can only pick one per week. This is from Mikey. Hey guys, I just wanted to give a huge shout out and recommendations for Echoes of the End. If you're looking for a AA God of War style experience with weaker combat but better platforming and puzzles, Echoes of End is a must try. The game has its issues and definitely has earned its low Metacritic score, but the story is intriguing. The voice acting ranges from good to great, the graphics are stunning, the puzzles start easy but ramp up nicely, and the platforming is challenging without holding your hand. Combat can be frustrating at times due to the clunky animation commit system, but playing on the lowest difficulty lets you focus on the fun. I'm 6 hours in so far, and it's definitely worth the $40 price tag. I love this. I love this because it sounds like this game has a lot of problems. Him just saying it's definitely earned its low Metacritic score is super funny to me.
Yeah, I mean, I love your enthusiasm. I have my doubts if it's worth the $40, but I love your enthusiasm. Maybe I worry about Stockholm Syndrome, though. You know, I worry that you're convincing yourself it's worth the $40.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's having fun right now, at least. So 6 hours in, $40.
It has a 66 on Metacritic, which is not atrocious.
Decent. Dude, you can have fun. You can have fun with the 6 for sure.
And the users have it at 6.8, so almost a 7, which is pretty good. Like,
I mean, you can still enjoy stuff that's severely flawed.
Yeah,
easily. But just acknowledge it. Like, hey, this is not so good, but I still like it.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Last night I beat Ninja Gaiden 4. I finished just the first run through of the game. Ninja Gaiden's a franchise that I like a lot, and I've been playing since the NES days. I know Colin really enjoys the old NES games as well. But back on the Xbox, the original Xbox, the series was kind of rebooted into a 3D action game, and it was great. You know, we got Ninja Gaiden Black, which I also loved. Then there was 2 and 3. Now we're at 4. It's been a long time. I think 3 came out. It came out in the Wii U era, so it was kind of stinky when it came out. I only played a little bit of it, and I was like, I don't like this. But Ninja Gaiden 4 is back, like I said earlier, thanks to Microsoft publishing it and stuff like that. Team Ninja, but Platinum Games is, I believe, the lead developer on this game, who are known for action games and stuff like that. You know, they did like Nier Automata, so they have some pedigree in the action genre. And I've had a lot of fun playing through this game. It was great, man. Really fun, deep combat. The level design, I'm just briefly, we'll get into more there. Level design is okay. It's, I miss kind of the old level design in the older games where you were exploring a space more, like getting keys and stuff to unlock a door and stuff like that, getting to know the environment more. This game is all kind of forward momentum, which that's just a personal taste kind of thing. I'm sure people will enjoy that maybe more. It's all about just getting you to the next thing. And story, whatever. I don't really give a shit about it. It's a Ninja Gaiden game. I never care about any of the stories in those games, but they do put an effort. There's at least voice acting in this game, not like Pokemon, so that's a step up right there. But yeah, the combat is, of course, the main showcase of this game, and it's fucking sick. Really fast, really bloody, really satisfying. Most of the Ninja Gaiden games, Ryu Hayabusa is the protagonist, of course. He is in this game, but he is not the lead character. This time, it is a character, I believe he's a brand new character. His name's Yakumo. He's from a different clan, not the Hayabusa clan. He's from the Raven clan this time around, but he is like the main character throughout the whole game. And he is such an edgelord. Extremely. But I'm cool with it. I was like, all right, this works. I like this kind of shit. He's very no nonsense. I'll kill you kind of guy like that. But it worked well for me. It was fun. But yeah, I guess I'll just talk about the combat. It is fucking super satisfying. There's so much you can do in this game. There's so much depth. If you want to learn this kind of, if you like take the time and you want to learn a lot of things, you can get super creative and pull off really rad shit. I was going into the training, like there's a training spot you can go to throughout the game pretty frequently. And I would just go in there and kind of just fucking around with combos and stuff like that, getting used to abilities. So all that good stuff is there if you enjoy the old Ninja Gaiden games. The game is challenging too, if you've played the old games. I died quite a bit. I was just playing through on normal for my first playthrough. Then there's a harder difficulty after that, and there's another one you unlock when you beat the game, which is way harder. So this game will kick your ass like the old ones will, if you want it to, especially.
Cool.
But yeah, Yakumo, really fun character to play as. He has a lot of the signatures that Ryu does, or some. He has like the Azuna drop. If you guys have played the old Ninja Gaiden games, you'll remember that. Like the flying swallow he also has. The first weapon you start off with him, he uses like 2 katanas, which are really cool. And the other one, the second weapon I got later, and I won't list all the weapons, but the second one I got was like this really cool, like like fencing kind of weapon where you're like doing quick thrust with it almost. But what's really cool about Yakumo compared to Ryu is he has this ability called like Bloodbind Jutsu. And basically what this means is if you hold L2 during combat, he does like a bloodblind thing where his weapon transforms almost like to in a different state. For example, the first weapon, you have those 2 katanas, but if you do this during combos, it will turn into like a humongous, giant, bloody greatsword. And you can like cleave through guys like that. The rapier kind of weapon, the thrusting weapon I was talking about earlier, when you use the blood binding thing on this, it turns into a giant fucking drill. And you can like hold it down on guys and like grind them up and like there's blood flying everywhere. It's really satisfying. But to use this, you have a meter that you have to keep in mind that slowly goes down as you use the abilities. Keep that in mind. But you can build it back up pretty quickly by just doing attacks, taking damage and all that kind of stuff. So it's something you use in combat all of the time. So don't be afraid to use that meter once you start playing. I was a little like conservative about the meter at first, but then I was realizing how quickly you get it back. So really satisfying, really fun to use. And of course you unlock crazy abilities with those like skill trees. You unlock new abilities. Like one I really liked was he would like, you do the bloodbind thing, then you can like jump up on his sword and it'll like extend him really high up. I don't know if you guys play Black Myth Wukong out there, anyone listening, but I forgot his name, Sun Wukong or whatever. He could like reach up on his power pole and it would like extend, and he would like do like a dramatic downward attack after that. You can like do pretty much that in this game, which is really rad. You have like a double trigger state. If you guys have played action games, Devil May Cry and all that kind of stuff, double triggers are nothing new. But what's cool about this is when you do certain attacks in the bloodbind state, you can like one-shot some enemies depending on how you do it. And depending on the weapon, there's some timing stuff to it perhaps, or like with the sword early on, you have to hold down the charge attack to actually do it. But there's some weapons later on that are all about like timing and releasing at certain times to actually execute it. So it's really powerful, but there's a skill check in it, which I really, really have appreciated about it. Ryu is also playable in the game. He is not the main character, though. He takes a much bigger backseat, way more limited toolkit. He has a decent amount of toolkit, though. And it's not divided up in 2 campaigns. You just kind of play him at a certain point of the game. That's not a spoiler. That's in the reveal trailer of the game, so I don't want anyone freaking out about me that Ryu's playable in the game. But he is, and he's really fun. He has all the classics you'd expect. And what I liked about it is playing as Ryu, he felt more powerful because he fucking should be. He's Ryu Hayabusa. He's like a legend in this universe. So he was awesome. Great. He had the dragon sword, so the basic Ryu Hayabusa weapons there. In terms of level design, it is, like I said, is very quick pace, running through a lot of environments. There are a lot of platforming you do in the game. Mostly of it's just kind of jumping and pushing R1. You early on, like the first level in the game is like a rainy neon Tokyo kind of environment. Really cool. There's lots of rails that you'll like slide across on. Think of like Ratchet and Clank and stuff like that. And you're swapping between rails. There's a lot of that. There's wall running like Jedi Survivor, Titanfall 2, you grappling hook. But most of that is just done by R2. And it is fun, but I think the game does these kind of things maybe too much. Like I said, the game is kind of running at 100 miles an hour the entire time. Like there is stuff to explore in the levels a little bit. Like you can go off like occasional different route and find like an item or something like that. Or there's these shrines you can go into to battle other guys for additional rewards like money and XP to level up your weapons, which is cool. But I wish the levels were a little more, I feel like I got to know the spaces more because you just kind of run through them. And sometimes they just blend together. I felt like where it all kind of felt like a blur, I would say, at points, just running through some of these levels. And so, yeah, and I'm thinking back to like Ninja Gaiden 1 and 2, and I'm like really remembering the levels themselves and like going through them and fighting at these certain spots and unlocking this door, finding the key for this. There's none of that. You just kind of blitz through there. And like I said, that's a preference thing. Maybe you'll enjoy that more. But for me, I just wish I got to like know the space more instead of running through it so much. But it's fast paced. Platforming works fine, especially because everything's just with R1. There's not like a whole lot of challenge to it, but there's some like you'll get knocked off like ledges and stuff like that, which is all right. But I wish there was a little more in depth. that's kind of like my biggest qualm with the game is just the level design. Just wish it was a little more involved in my personal taste. But the combat, which is the most important thing, is fucking excellent from what I've played so far. I feel like I want to spend more time with it just to master everything. It's one of those games where you can really feel yourself getting better throughout and really getting that satisfaction of mastering like a sick combo and like a really cool circumstance. It's really good. One cool mechanic is, I'm not sure if this was in 3 or any stuff like that, but a lot of the enemies you fight against will have attacks that you cannot, or like deadly attacks, and they flash red. And if you use that the bloodblind jitsus I was talking about earlier, just by holding like L2, you can like stagger them and all that kind of stuff. So that's a big part of the game. But this game is fast as fuck too. So get ready. Reactions, you got to be on point, especially on the hard difficulties. This game will beat your ass if you're not careful. But if you like the old Ninja Gaiden, or if you enjoy the 3D ones, I'm sure you'll have a great time with this overall, because I did, and I've played most of them. Didn't care for 3, but awesome game so far. Definitely want to play more. There's a lot of cool stuff to do post-game that I won't get into yet, just because it's not out. But yeah, I recommend it. It's on Game Pass also, so if you're curious about it, you can just pick it up there and play there. But yeah, badass game. Lockmort. I don't know. Have you ever played any of these Ninja Gaiden games?
Well, we talked about this, I think, yesterday or this morning or whatever. I remember getting the OG Xbox, and there was a demo for Ninja Gaiden with it at some point. So I played it there. And even back then, I knew, like, oh, this is hard. This is too difficult for me. I couldn't grasp the concept of it. I can now, but I haven't played it. But I'm really interested in this one. You really sold me well on this one. So it sounds really cool. Is it okay for a newcomer to start with this one?
You can play it. Yeah.
But
the story doesn't really matter. Okay. No, it doesn't really matter that much. There is like a narrative, of course, and they do put effort into it, but you're not going to feel lost if you haven't really played the other games. All you need to know is that Ryu Hayabusa was a badass in the past games. That's pretty much it. That's all you got to know. So you'll be fine.
If you had to pick a different franchise that is kind of like it, which one? What would you compare?
Like this?
Yeah.
I mean, it's an action combat game, so think like Devil May Cry and stuff like that. Okay. Ninja Gaiden, to me, from what I recall, is like the fastest out of all of them, though. It's like really fast, a lot of it. But it's like an action game like that, you know? All about pulling off sick combos and stuff.
Was it harder than Silk Song, for instance?
Different ways, I guess. Yeah. I mean, it was a challenging game. I mean, Ninja Gaiden, if I played this on the hardest difficulty, probably. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Because there's like stuff like beating it on the hardest difficulty and not getting hit. There's like rewards for that and stuff.
I like that.
Incentivizing you to do that. So it's a game all about kind of mastering it and playing it a lot.
Cool. So it's basically required to play it a couple of times, I guess. Then,
I mean, if you want to get the most out of it, you can play through the story or whatever.
That's cool though.
And just do one time. That's fine with you. But if you want to get into the nitty gritty of it all and really kind of see that there is all that the game's offering and what it's about, you would want to do some of the post game stuff like that.
Cool. I love that. No, I'm very interested. It's on Game Pass, you said, right?
Yep. Huh? It's on Game Pass. It's on it's on everything PC. Well, not Switch, but it's on PlayStation and PC and Xbox.
Not Switch. How does it look? Is it like graphically?
It looks excellent? Okay. It doesn't look super impressive, in my opinion. I wasn't like blown away at the visuals or anything like that, but it looks okay. Decent enough, tolerable. And I was playing on a Pro, and there's like a Pro version. It's not like a graphic showpiece by any means. That's not its focus. Its focus is more on performance, I would say.
Okay.
And it excelled in that department, in my opinion.
Cool. Oh, that sounds awesome.
Like, if you look at some clips of this game, it's just fucking crazy, the shit that's going on screen. I can't emphasize that enough. Like, some of these scenarios I found myself in, it just like realizing what's going on was really impressive and really fun. Really immersive for me.
So top 10 of the year for you?
For me, yeah, probably.
Cool.
Yeah, I would say so. It's definitely one of my top 10 games of the year. But I like action games a lot, so it speaks to me. And I know it's not for everybody, but cool ass game. Check it out if you're curious. Like I said, Game Pass there if you don't want to buy it out or outright. But yeah, cool game. Lockmort. Gothic.
Yes, sir. Gothic.
This is an older game. This is old, right? Gothic 1. I'm trying to remember, like, old, yeah. I haven't played these games, but I'm trying to remember how old it is.
It's from 2001. Before the towers collapsed, even. So before
early
9/11. That's how old it is, when the world was still at peace and everyone was still nice to each other. It's made by... Have you guys ever heard of this game? I presume maybe not. Maybe
I've heard of the name. Like, I know the series like by name, but I don't really know anything about them.
Or have you ever heard about them, Micah?
I have not.
That's probably because they're German. They're very European. And they've only made a couple of games. They made Gothic, they made Ryzen, and they made Ivalice. Maybe you've ever heard about Ivalice.
I haven't heard those two games, actually. I've only heard of Gothic.
Oh. Well, Piranha Bytes are basically the kings of Eurojank.
Excellent.
In their case, that's a bad thing. With most other developers, that's a good thing. With them, it's a bad thing because their games used to be broken, to no comparison. They were fun, they were awesome, but they used to be broken. Now, to be fair, Gothic is a 25-year-old game soon. So it's not broken anymore. It's fixed, of course. It's a CRPG that was huge in Europe. A lot of people here consider this the best gaming series of all time. But the reason I picked it is because we're getting a remake in a couple of months, in early 2026. And they're really pushing it to the US or to the English-speaking countries this time. So they're trying to make it a big thing worldwide, basically, this time. Because Gothic 1 is getting a remake, but they're also porting the first two Gothic games to the PS5 or to the Xbox and to PC again with controller support. They're CRPGs, but also not really, because they're third-person RPGs or action adventures with RPG elements.
Yeah, it looks like The Witcher, just from a first glance.
Yes, exactly. And the premise is highly unique. It's what they excel in. Because it takes place on the island of Khorinis, a fictional island, of course. And King Robar, who's the king of the island, is at war with the orcs. And to make this war work in his favor, he needs to forge a lot of new weapons. And to do that, he needs magical ore. And magical ore, of course, comes from the magical mines. But you need people to work in the mines. So what King Robar does is he takes every criminal or prisoner in the country and he sends them to the mines. But in order for those thieves and criminals not to escape, he erects a dome around the mining colony, or basically a magic barrier, so nobody can enter or get out of there except if you have magic abilities. But as soon as he does that, the convicts down in the mining colony start a little revolution, and they kill their overseers and basically take over the mine. So now King Robar has no other choice but to deal with the convicts down in the mining colony. So in order for them to send magical ore up to the king, he sends down women or alcohol or food, anything the convicts want. And at some point, he also sends down you. You're a nameless guy, you're a nameless hero, and you get a task. They basically tell you to take this letter to the fire mages, and that's it. They send you down in a cart down to the mining colony. You fall down into a river. You wake up. You immediately get beat up by a couple of criminals, and that's it. That's where the story starts. You have a letter in your pocket. Go deliver this to the fire mages. What made Gothic so special, and still makes it so special to this day, is that it's a full open world. Before that was even a thing. So in 2001, a very long time ago, of course, back then it was PC only. That's why it worked, of course, but very little loading screens. A lot of everything is basically open. You can go anywhere at any time. It's all about exploration and choices. There's no hand-holding. There's no mini-map. There are no quest markers. You choose where to go. You choose what to do, who to align with. And who to align with is very important in Gothic, because you basically have three choices. In the mining colony, there are three camps. You have the old camp, who are convicts, who are basically content with the deal they've got, and they are in power. Most of them are part of the old camp. You have the new camp, and the new camp are convicts who want to leave the colony. So they're doing basically everything they can to find a glitch in the dome, in the magical barrier to get out. And then there's also the sect camp, who are basically swamp people. They camp up in the swamp. And they're religious convicts who believe in a god called the Sleeper. So those are your three options. Of course, you have to fight the fire mages, deliver your letter, but after that, you're pretty much stuck in the mining colony, and it's up to you to decide what to do. Do you align yourself with the new camp and try to get out, or do you get with the old camp and try to become their leader, maybe, and become like the big boss? Well, I've played this game so many times that I've done all three steps, of course. Okay. This last time, when I recorded my playthrough, I did something I never did before, and I went with the sect camp. So I became I don't want to say what you can become, but you can join them, of course. And each of these camps specializes in something different. You have different characters there, of course. You have different quests. You have different abilities that you can get there, different trainers. Because Gothic is very, very hard. The combat in Gothic is not like in other games where you happily swing your sword or something. No. When you start Gothic, you're basically nothing, no one. You can't do anything. You can literally swing your sword sideways, and that's basically all you can do. So you die a lot at first in Gothic. You die everywhere you go. It's so hard that even a little rodent can kill you, basically. However, when you kill a rodent, or when you solve quests, or when you find a cave with a treasure, or you find something out of the ordinary, you get XP, of course, like in so many other games. And with that XP, of course, like in other games, you can level up. But not in Gothic, because here you get skill points. But then, in true old MMO fashion, you have to find a trainer or a teacher to teach you where to put these skill points. But again, because you align yourself with one of three camps, you can't use every trainer. You can only use the trainers of the camp you align with. So it becomes a really intricate game of, if I align with these people, I can't use my swords well anymore. Or if I align with these people, my strength is low. Or if I align with the old camp, my thievery goes up and I can break in there and I can steal this chest. And so it really becomes a big ebb and flow of choices and consequences. It's also one of those games where as you progress, you can feel yourself actually getting stronger. Like the combat becomes easier because your character becomes easier. Thieving becomes easier because you get better. It's very, very comparable to Kingdom Come Deliverance 1 and 2 in that regard. Also very hard, like Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, but you can feel your progression very, very well. You have melee weapons, of course, swords, you have bows, or you have magic. All three of them are very viable playstyles, but you can only pick one. You can do all three, but you can only specialize in one. So it's a big deal. It's a big choice of what you specialize in. The same thing goes for armor. It's not a game where you find loot in every chest. Armor is very specific and very important in this game. You only get a couple of armor sets throughout the game. So again, who you align yourself with, very important also for your armor and what you can do with it. There's no infinite grind. You can't just level up like in Dark Souls forever. Oh. XP is limited because you're in a mining colony. You're in an enclosed colony. The enemies are limited. The amount of XP that you can earn is limited, of course. I've never run into the issue where I couldn't level up anymore, or I couldn't get past an obstacle anymore. But there is a possibility that you pick and choose things willy-nilly and you're locked into a choice that you don't really want, and you're done. But that basically back then, that was the cool thing about video games. Yeah. You already said it, but it's basically old school The Witcher 3 without any quality of life options. Which is cool. I love that personally. I think that's amazing.
I was looking at footage of it, Lock, and I was like, oh, this looks cool, actually.
Yeah. I miss games like this a lot because this is when video games used to be creative. You can already tell by the premise of the story. Never heard that before and never heard it since. It's highly original. The characters you meet are super interesting. They all have their own personalities. They have their own accents. They all have their own goals and personalities, and they switch and turn on you, and they can betray you and stuff. It works so well, like video games used to do. The main story is also amazing. Choices actually matter. Characters become friends, characters become enemies, but it's also about the exploration. You choose where you go. Again, no map pointers, no minimap. You have a journal which says maybe you can go to the city and find this person, or maybe you can go here and find this person. So you do or you don't. It's all up to you. Again, the remake is coming. I don't know if the remake is going to be good, because that's always a question with remakes.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, from what they've shown of the remake, do you feel good about it, though?
The opinions are mixed, because what makes Gothic so great, or a couple of the parts that make Gothic so great and unique, are the combat. And of course, if you implement that combat in a current day and age video game, it doesn't work anymore. So of course they implemented controller support now, and I honestly don't know how that's going to work. But we don't have to worry about that, because they're also porting Gothic 1 and 2 to consoles around roughly the same time. So let's say you don't like the remake, you can just play the original. And I'm super interested in playing the original on console. That's gonna be so much fun. I can't wait to see what people do with them. Because Gothic 1, great game, fantastic game, cool story, great mechanics. Gothic 2, arguably one of the best RPGs of all time. Again, for Western people.
Sure.
I know JRPGs and whatever, but Gothic 2 is considered in large swaths of Europe, or maybe European listeners will agree, is considered one of the big like RPG series. Because of story, because of choices and consequences, but mostly because of the open world and discovery and exploration aspect. You can basically do whatever you want, go wherever you go. The Witcher, but again, without any of the quality of life improvements.
Yeah.
So if you're interested in Gothic, you can get it right now on Steam. You can play it on Steam, of course.
Do you know if like, it runs well on Steam now?
They have a couple of...
I worry about sometimes old PC games, like on Steam and stuff like that. Yeah, they just don't run properly on modern hardware.
They have done a great job on Steam. There's a couple of options. You can run the old option, of course, and then there will be bugs and there will be crashes and other stuff. But you can also run the Steam Workshop version, so you can download mods directly from the Steam Workshop. A lot of them basically fix the bugs in the game and make it so that it works on newer systems.
Okay.
But there's also already a full-blown remake in Unreal, 3 or 4. So if you buy it on PC, if you buy it on Steam, you can also select that option. Let me check it right now. Yeah, you can play it in...
They're doing a second remake of the game?
They're doing a proper remake. This is a fan remake.
Oh, okay.
You can play it. Let me check really quick here. Oh, the Unreal Beta. Yeah, it's called the Unreal Beta. So you can basically already play the remake of it. But if you're on console and console only and don't want to play on PC, which I fully get, and the game comes out in January and you see that the remake is getting not so great reviews, or maybe it will, maybe it won't, I don't know. If it doesn't, play the originals on console. I think a lot of people are really going to love these games. 1 and 2 are a beautiful, contained story. They're fantastic. They're amazing. 1 flows directly into 2, so it's a direct sequel. So you kind of have to play 1 before you play 2. But it's amazing. They're a great time. The first one will take you roughly, I'm going to say between 30 and 40 hours. The second one is way bigger, so maybe 60, 70, 80 hours.
Okay.
There's also a third one. We don't talk about that one. It's broken. It's a mess. It wasn't good. But the first 2 are amazing. So whenever they do come to PS5 or Xbox, I think pretty soon, January, February, March, definitely give them a look.
Okay. Very nice. Micah, what did you think of, or what do you think what Locke has said about this game? You love Witcher and stuff like that. Does it sound appealing to you?
So while Locke was speaking, I added the game to my cart on Amazon.
Oh.
And then as he continued speaking, I added it to save for later. I'm not out, but I need to do a little research. I love Western RPGs. Of course I do. But when you're like, oh, there's no mini map, and I'm like, somewhat pause. only because it's like, but then you said it's like a shorter experience. I'm like, well, because I would not want to play something like The Witcher 3, 100 fucking hours with no mini map, but a smaller sized experience, I could jive with that.
Yeah, so it treats you with intelligence. So the game knows it has a small area where you move in because it has a small area, and it knows that you're smart enough to remember the layout of the map, which you are.
It thinks I am, but it's in because the beauty of this. What happened is when I added that to my cart, it said you may also like. Why? Once again, you guys have let me down so many times. No one told me that there's an Oblivion remastered physical edition on Xbox.
I think that came out recently.
I've been honking about that for like months, saying, "Oh, if they do a physical one, I'll buy it." And you people, this is just like Final Fantasy 16 all over again. Not telling me that it was on Xbox finally, and you guys but you guys are like, oh, you gotta play Final Fantasy Tactics, you'll fucking love it. But nobody told me about this. Not one of you. I've never been so disappointed. Bradley, you knew about this, didn't you?
What, the
Oblivion physical edition?
I recently saw like last week. Yeah.
Are we not co-hosts, Bradley? Do you hate me?
I don't know,
you don't
man.
Want me to,
do I gotta fucking baby you and tell you when everything's out?
Dude, I mean, it's just like, I just can't believe it didn't come up. Because I've been like, yeah, I'll buy it. If they do a physical one, I'll fucking buy it.
Complain to Maddie about that. He's the Bethesda guy, all right? Not me.
Maddie's too busy. He's making like 6 videos a day. We don't talk to Maddie unless it's important. We let Maddie alone.
All right.
But no, I'm interested in this Gothic game. It's in my saved for later. I am interested. I want to definitely look at a trailer or something first, they got a trailer, but I am interested, Locke, and we may purchase this.
If you like Kingdom Come Deliverance, I think there's a I think there's a pretty high chance that you will like Gothic. If you've liked or ever heard about Drova, another game that's kind of like Kingdom Come Deliverance and Gothic, you will like Gothic. It's kind of the Eurojank trifecta here.
Yeah.
And Baldur's Gate 3.
Eurojank trifecta. I like that. That's good shit.
It's just funny you mentioned Baldur's Gate, of course, because I just recently saw, it might have been Metal Jesus posted on Twitter that one of his more expensive Switch games is the Baldur's Gate 1 and 2 pack.
Oh, nice.
And that game, it is funny just because on Switch, I think it's like maybe $80. And it's cheaper on other consoles, but it's like, whoa, yeah, that one just like jumped way up in price. And I it's not something I really want to play, but I thought of you when I saw it.
Oh, that's nice.
That's nice.
Baldur's Gate 1 and 2 are very hardcore, very archaic and old, but beautiful, almost perfect games. Like such great games. I wonder how they would hold up today for someone who didn't play them back in the day.
Well, that's what I was Googling was, how approachable it is, which was not essentially. It just was people saying like, I mean, if you want to really play one of these for the first time, you should play Baldur's Gate 3, because it was like, these games are not necessarily approachable. And you're going to fuck it all up and have to start over.
All right, Micah. Sorry, go ahead, Locke.
No, I was just going to ask, because I ask it every time I see Micah. How's the Baldur's Gate 3 planning coming along? Oh. Is there a plan to play it at a certain point this year?
I'll definitely play it. I'm going to play it, but much like, Golf Story was sent to me several years ago, and it took me this long to get there. So, you got to be in the mood to play a game.
Sure.
And so it's on my mind. It's there. It's there.
It's a perfect holiday game, like perfect Christmas game. If you play it like around Christmas, it's like perfect for that period of time.
Yeah. Baldur's Gate 3, great game, man.
Yeah.
Really fun. Damn. Good moments.
That's one, if it's a real shame that because they only did the disc for the like collector's edition, like the insane collector's edition. That was the only way to get a physical copy of that. So minor ding for that. But no, I want to play it. I do want to play it. Now, every time I say that, I go and watch a YouTube video and say, I don't know if I want to play this, but I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna play the Baldur's Gate 3.
Yeah. Awesome
I can guarantee that you will love it. Guarantee. If you don't love it, I will do anything, or I will give you anything you want. But I'm sure you will love it.
If I don't love it, you're not allowed to have those delicious little triangle jellies ever again.
Okay. Okay, I will send you some for Christmas. Be
careful. I thought she would love Final Fantasy Tactics because she loves tactical RPGs, but she doesn't. So be careful. Nothing is guaranteed with this woman.
That's true. I take back everything I said, but still, play it.
All right, Micah, Final Fantasy Tactics, the Ivalice Chronicles. Let me read this from Angel to Jesus first. Hello, unsummoners. Let's try this again. Micah, what do you think about the voice acting in Tactics? How much of a son of a horse dog is Argath? By the way, shout out to Square actually giving a physical copy of the game with the collector's edition. Now, if you excuse me, I must save the princess so I can use her for my own machinations. Wow. All right, Micah, Final Fantasy Tactics.
Yes.
Time to break
to
my
answer
heart.
the question, voice acting's good.
Yes, it is good.
Some characters are better than others. Let me say that right away. Much like Kingdom Come Deliverance, like 1 and 2, some characters are like really good, and then there's a couple that are like, that guy is either the same guy trying to do a different voice, or it's just like, here comes the guy out of the coat closet. They're like, we need somebody to read this real quick. But the voice acting is generally good. Basic premise of this game: you have discovered a political plot that could lead to the next major war, and you decide you're going to stand against it. The story is excellent. The voice acting is good. The twists and turns have kept me very engaged. And put away the pitchforks, because I'm not saying it's a bad game. It is just not for me. I don't like that the gameplay loop of change classes, grind levels, rinse and repeat. My favorite tactical games, I love the Fire Emblem series. In those games, you level up your classes and you can choose new ones, but you don't have to. And you're not going to be fucking stranded later because, oh my God, I didn't level him up to a Pegasus Knight. And, you're going to be fucking okay for the most part. You want to level up because you get more health and shit. But right now, Final Fantasy Tactics, I am stuck on a boss fight. I am the appropriate level. The problem, though, is that I am missing a key skill. For me to get that skill, would take hours.
What skill is it?
What I need is the one where you can cast shit on multiple people at once.
Oh. Yeah. Okay.
Because here's what happened. Here's let me paint the story. I'm on one of the boss fights where it's 3 battles in a row. You have to do them sequentially. Mm-hmm. I got stuck on the second one. I was like, oh, that's no big deal. I went out. Yeah, I go grind some levels. I change classes. I get some new skills, and I handled that second one no problem. And then the third one was 10 times more difficult than the second one. Just wiped out in 2 turns. And I was like, all right. Mm-hmm. And I really sat with it. I tried it a couple times, and I was grinding levels, and I was like, I'm just not having fun. What if we put the game on easy just to see the end of the story, right? And the problem is that the game on easy is not fucking easy. And so here's what happened. So the boss, instead of casting physical damage magic, he casts confusion on the entire party on the first turn. Mm-hmm. So you get to spend 4 turns taking it off all your guys. By the time you've done so, you're fucking dead. And it's that's on easy mode. I only can heal one person at a time. I gotta get the skill to heal to do the fucking take it off of multiple people. I just, what? The thing is, I just fucking don't like it. I just don't like it.
You don't
I'm not saying it's bad.
Skill? Is that what's really doing it? You don't want to just have to get a skill or something like that?
I don't like the gameplay loop. I don't like having to... Okay, here's the thing. It's cool on the surface that you can have, I got my summoner and her secondary skill is white magic. I got a knight, and his secondary skill is black magic. I got an archer. Their secondary skill is time magic. Like, that's fucking sick. However, for all the freedom it gives you, it does feel like there are specific things that become required at a certain point because you flat out can't do it. For me to cheese this without that skill to like fucking take this ailment off multiple people at once, I'd have to be really fucking strong. All right, like this boss has like over 1,000 HP. I can do like 100 damage at a time. For me to survive like 10 fucking turns, it's me versus these other dudes, and my party is helping the enemy and healing them because they have confusion. For me to like fucking cheese that is the same amount of grinding probably as me having to get that skill, and I just don't want to do it. Like, I just don't want to. I'm just not having fun, you know? Because what I hate about the grinding levels in every fucking game that exists is that you're not progressing the story. You're just battling over and over, and while I am a gameplay first person, if you're going 3 hours without advancing the story, I'm bored. Like, it's where it lost me in Xenoblade Chronicles X, for example. I'm like, we're going way too long without a story beat. I need motivation because the gameplay is fun. It's not that fun to me. It's fun. But it's what happened with Dragon Quest III, the remake, which I did finish. I like that game. But that's when I bumped down to easy because I'm like, this is an absurd amount of level grinding in a game. And that game is so simplistic that I'm like, bro, this just isn't fun anymore. I'm fighting the same enemies 1,000 times and I'm over it. And part of the problem with Final Fantasy Tactics is that there are times when you get locked into a certain zone on the map. To go anywhere else, you have to beat the thing you're stuck on. And you're stuck with hopefully 2, but sometimes like 1 open battlefield. And you just got to keep doing that same one over and over to level up. I just don't like it. I just don't like being stuck like that and being like, and I understand the satisfaction of it. I can understand the appeal of piecing together these fighting skills and putting together your party. I also don't like that every battle is like 5 party members max. I like big battles. I love Fire Emblem. I want big battles, you know? I want to have like 8 dudes on my squad, like minimum, you know? Like I want to have a big team. And being limited to like 5 dudes active at a time, it's just one of those things of like, I just want more people. I need more men. So yeah, I just don't love it. I always hate level grinding. I hate level grinding in every fucking game I've ever played. And it's just part of gaming. It's just part of RPGs in general.
Older ones.
But and I just have always hated that. And in this game, it is so essential, but I'm just no longer having fun with it. Okay. It's in timeout. I'd like to beat this game. I really would. The story is amazing, and I like the abilities, and I like the characters, but God almighty, like, I'm so fucking sick of grinding levels. Like, I'm just so fucking sick of it, dude. So it's in timeout for right now. I'd like to go back to it. I have a guide for this boss and what fucking skills I should get. And I'm willing to give it like another go. But I gotta give it like, I don't know, like a week or 2. Because right now, I'm at that point where the thought of booting up that game, I'd rather go clean a toilet.
Oh, geez.
I'd rather go mop a floor than boot up that game. Like, that's where I'm at with it. It's like, damn. I'd rather do chores than fucking play that game right now.
So I'm looking at Confuse on here because I was remembering how to get it off. You can use Remedy, which Chemist you get from, which is like a starter job. So you can do that really fast if you don't do that already, Micah.
I don't have that.
You should get that immediately. You can whack someone with a physical attack. So if you have like a mage,
that's what I had been doing was It's like, okay, I can hit them one at a time to reverse it, but there's 4 enemies and 4 of your party members get hit with confusion, and then they start like hitting each other, and then you got to heal them, and it's just like, as of right now, it's like impossible. I tried it multiple times.
Okay.
And I was just like, fuck. I gotta go. And you can't respec.
Yeah.
Like, not even within the singular job class. You can't. I don't mean like give me all my points back and let me spend them, but like even within like the knight class, for example, if you bought a skill by mistake, there's no getting it back. You just gotta grind that fucking XP.
Yeah.
I'm not hating on it.
I know.
I simply am not having fun.
I know. I'm just trying to help.
And I'm not Colin, all right? I don't like the games that shove a toothpick up your urethra and it's like, are you having fun? It's like, no, I am not having fun, and don't do that again, Nancy. So I'm just not having fun, and I feel like it's supposed to be fun.
Well, when you go back, just get the ability to use remedies on Chemist, I think. Super early. You can do it like immediately. Just keep that when you go back to make it easier.
God.
There's
it
also makes you immune to confusion. I don't know how you get that though.
The thought of going back, what I see is like the fucking bombers flying overhead, and I can hear the explosions in the background. Like that's what I'm having, flashbacks. About going back.
Well, go back when you're ready then.
I want to. I'm genuinely upset because the story is amazing. Like, I'm really not trying to oversell it, but like the story is great. So good. And I'm just like, damn, dog. Like, and I was like, I'll play it on easy then. Fuck it. And it's like, fuck, easy's hard too, man. Fuck, like, what am I supposed to do? So, which actually, the same thing happened with that fucking, what's that game I tried earlier that Colin really liked? Fucking Fell Seal.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Which also had a really cool story. And I just got sick of grinding that game too. Like, that's a game that just requires a lot of grinding. I was very deliberate in that game about switching classes and getting abilities and shit. But like, it's just the fucking level bumps. You'll do a battle and you'll be 2 levels above your enemies. And then you do the next battle and they're 5 levels above you. And it's like, fuck, you just can't keep up. And that's another one where I was just like, I'm just sick of grinding levels. I just don't want to do this anymore. I set it on easy and it was not. So I didn't finish that game either, which is rare for me. This is really, I hate this because I'm someone who finishes their games. So this is bad for me. I don't like not finishing things.
Sounds like you just don't like JRPGs, so you should come over to the CRPG.
That is false. Part of this too is so like, because Colin does not like Fire Emblem. I fucking love Fire Emblem. All right, I'd eat a Fire Emblem game to have it be a piece of me for a short amount of time. So I love Fire Emblem. Okay, and he does not, and he loves Final Fantasy Tactics, and so far I do not. So it feels like this is just a difference of what the gameplay style is for these tactical games, because it's my favorite. Grid-based little moving little dudes around. I almost threw out an N-word there and I had to hold it back. Moving little dudes around on grids is like my favorite fucking thing in the world. I fucking love taking little dudes and putting them on squares. That's my favorite type of gameplay. But I don't like grinding levels. And that's kind of where I'm stuck here. Because like with Fire Emblem, there's always the option to grind levels, and I really hardly ever do. Like they'll be like, you can go to Coliseum, and I'm like, you can fucking keep it, and I just suffer. But you can usually cheese your way through like almost any fight, right? Yeah. So yeah, I fucking love these games normally, but this is not jiving with me right now.
Breaking you.
And now that I know what to expect, part of it is just saying, now that I know what I'm up against, can I get myself in the right mindset to say, I'm going to grind levels for an hour while I listen to a podcast, and then I'm going to go play something else. Like, maybe I just need to say, like, I'm not going to play this as like my main game for a bit. Like, hey, I got the barbecue podcast to listen to, which I do have an episode behind. Maybe I'll grind some levels while I listen to that, and then I go back to something else, and just chip away at it. I feel like that's going to be the approach for a little bit.
Okay.
Do you think it could also be the case? Because this is my problem with games. Like when I figure out everything how it works, then my enjoyment goes down rapidly. So it sounds like you're not getting surprised anymore by the game. Because you're using a guide, right, to look up what you need to do.
Oh, when I got stuck on things, yeah. Like I did not need a guide except for like there was one specific thing where I was like, bro, there's got to be a way to do this, and there was indeed a skill for it. I needed to unlock it. And I was like, okay, I just got to go find that. So I haven't needed a guide except for like this specific boss fight. I was like, for example, I was like, is this a boss fight where I only need to get him down like half health and I'll be okay? Or do I need to fucking kill this guy? Because that was the difference of, I think I could cheese him like halfway down his health. I think I could handle that if that's what's going to happen next. I was willing to like spoil a bit of the story if that was like, if this will work, and that's kind of what I was looking for. And then it was like, if you really want to do this, and here's a list of skills you should get, and here's a couple of ideas of builds you could do. And I was like, oh my God. I don't. So it's like, I don't know. I'm feeling like I am enjoying the core gameplay. It's just too much extracurriculars. Like if I'll just fucking say, if the game was easier and I could just go like battle by battle, I'd be fucking golden. Or even if I only had to do a couple like areas of level grinding, it'd be fine. But I just am not enjoying like literally you do a couple battles and it's like you gotta level up like 5 levels to be at a comfortable spot. And it's like, that's a lot of time. That's a lot of time to invest in it. And I'm just feeling like it's not moving the story forward enough.
Yeah. Do you know the boss you're stuck on? The name?
Yeah, let me look it up. I think I know what his name is. It's
trying to remember if you're stuck on the infamous boss fight.
Spoilers.
Well, okay, let me think. It's a 3-part battle. I
don't remember.
I'm torn on spoiling things.
Don't worry about it. You just type it in Slack or type it in our thing for me then.
All right. I'm typing it.
I'm not looking.
Or you can send it to me on Discord, whatever.
I typed it in Zencaster already. Lockboard of avert your eyes.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm not.
I think this is the infamous fight.
Yeah, it's fucking difficult, and it's just a matter of like I gotta level up and get more skills.
Yeah,
and it really is. I'm just not enjoying the gameplay loop. That's all. Like, it's not a bad game. Yeah. I can see why someone like Colin would fucking love it. Okay, because it's like now we got to go back out to the field and we got to do this 15 times and we get more skills and then we go back. Mm-hmm. But I kind of like the Fire Emblem version, where you maybe do like one extra battle and you're like, cool, now I can make that guy a whatever knight. And then I go do the next battle.
Yeah.
Sure. It's just fewer extracurricular activities.
I think in the original, if this is the fight I'm remembering correctly, is you could not back out when you were in this fight. So if you were dying on him, you were stuck there. So
I saw that on Reddit.
Okay.
At least with this, yes, you can go back to the world map and fight more and then try and level up. Because the bigger problem too is like on normal mode, this dude turns people to stone. Yeah. On easy mode, he casts confusion. I honestly am torn. Like if it really is not easier that he casts confusion instead, because it's still just a status ailment on the entire party to deal with. It's like, bro, it's not easier at all. It's not easier. So, yeah. I'm gonna do it, but it's in time right now.
Yeah, take a break.
Yeah.
Cool off.
Yeah.
It sounds like you really like tactics and the story, but just not this type of tactics, right?
Correct.
Yeah, it's just the level jumps are just absurd. It's the same thing I had with Fell Seal of like, you'll do a battle and you are on the right level, and the next battle, the enemies are 5 levels above you. And it's like, that's just a huge jump. In a game where it takes like 30 minutes to go up 1 level, it's a big fucking jump to have the enemies suddenly climb 5 levels higher. I don't love games with absurd difficulty spikes. That's a big part of it, is like, I want to feel like I'm appropriately leveling up so long as I do every battle along the way. So long as I fight every enemy on my way here, I should be roughly the correct level. That's kind of how I hope most games operate, and how a lot of them do. It's like, you go through the whole dungeon and you kill everybody, and at the end of the dungeon, you're ready to fight the boss. What I hate is a game where you kill every enemy in the dungeon and the boss is still 5 levels too high, and you're like, I guess I'll do the dungeon 5 more times. That's like what I don't jive with.
There is a tactical RPG game that's exactly like what you just described. It's called Baldur's Gate 3, and it's amazing. You should try it. But jokes aside, that really is what you just described. Like, there's a set amount of enemies. You beat a battle, you get to the next part, and the enemies are stronger, but you can beat them. Maybe.
The only thing I get worried about with Micah is, like, I think about like the leveling up in some of the classes and like pick how much there's to pick from. And stuff like
but
that.
There's no wrong choice. That's the beauty.
I know what you're saying, but I know Micah, and
what does that mean?
Some that could freak out. And there's a lot of enemy status ailment things in that game that really probably frustrate Micah. But
but I
think you would like the game overall, though, Micah.
Yeah.
No, I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna try it. I'm going to write a note right now. I'm going to write, buy Baldur's Gate 3.
Well, again,
does it work good on Xbox? That's got to work good on Xbox. All right.
Yes, on Series X.
All right.
But again, jokes aside, it really does sound like something you would enjoy with what you just described. Because it basically is what you just described. You get a dungeon, you kill all the enemies, you're at the end of the dungeon, you can defeat the boss. And if you have defeated the boss, there's no grind in Baldur's Gate 3. Kill an enemy and he's gone forever. You can't go back and kill him again. There's a set amount of XP. But this game sounds cool too, of course.
You know what? I'll say, if they just framed it differently, I'd be more into it. If you can disguise level grinding as a side quest, you can trick me. I completely understand that The Witcher 3's 1 million side quests are technically all level grinding, but it's about interest. It's about just not getting bored. If this game said, like, oh, bandits were spotted at this specific location, go fight them, because it's cool that you can just replay any of the sections and it gives you different enemies each time within reason. But it's like, you go over to this place and you hit search for enemies and it'll be like, oh, there's enemies here. I would feel even slightly more motivated if it was just framed as, the townspeople reported enemies here, go there. I would just feel like, like 10% more motivated if it was just the game being like, you gotta save the townsfolk. I'd be like, oh, all right. Yeah. Versus just having... If you consider like having toddlers do like independent play, like self-directed play, like that's my worst fucking thing. All right, like tell me what to do. All right, just if you give me a task, I'll do it. But if you tell me like it's up to you to do it, I'll be like, I might just sit here. Yeah. I might just sit and stare at the wall. Oh, so
in that case,
maybe I can trick myself. Maybe I can write like a list of things. I'll write a series of alerts on my calendar, and it'll say like enemies spotted at whatever castle, and I'll be like, oh shit, I gotta go there. Maybe I'll do that.
Okay. All right, let's end the show with some write-ins from the audience. If you want to write into the show, I post a thread every Saturday calling for your submissions on our Patreon, so keep an eye out there. This is from Rush, a treble barking at minorities. Wow, that's your dog. Maybe Rush and Treble? Rush a treble barking at minorities, yeah. Hello, so do they do that?
So we have a whole thing where Treble was barked at once by a large black dog, and she hates black dogs ever since.
Oh, man.
So whenever she sees a black dog, she goes ballistic.
Oh, no. Hello, Soning Jutsus. Can we get a gut check from y'all this weekend's big releases? Dispatch and Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2, the Telltale-like superhero venture with a really cool voice cast, and the narrative blood-sucking RPG don't seem to have gotten the attention that Yote, Battlefield, Pokemon, and even Digimon have received this month. But I think they are interesting all the same. Wanted to know if they were on the radar for anyone else. Have a COG getting a call in 9 months from a number with the Japanese area code kind of day. Wow. Good Lord. Okay, so Lockmort, I know you're interested in Vampire the Masquerade 2.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to get it this week. The reviews are sort of what I expected, sadly. This game has changed developers a bunch of times over the past decade. What is weird about it is people who are old, like us, maybe Brad, will remember that when the first game came out, it was plagued by the same stuff that this game is plagued by. A lot of bugs, a lot of, it's okay, it's not really great, but it's fine. And then over the years, it grew like to a cult status that it has now. Kind of like New Vegas, really.
Yep.
So that's why I'm really interested in this one, because it kind of sounds like more or less the same game. Maybe it's not really great right now, but it has potential to be fantastic 20 years down the line. So yeah, I'm definitely getting it this week. I think it got really bad scores on Metacritic, like 4s and then 8s and then 6s. So it's all over the place. So I'm pretty sure I will enjoy it moderately. So I'm interested in it. Yeah, sounds cool.
Yeah. Okay.
What about you?
Me, I'm waiting for your word on Masquerade Bloodlines. I don't have any interest in Dispatch, but Bloodlines sounds cool. So if Locke's like, yeah, it's worth a playthrough, I'm like, all right, I'll consider it. You don't get to be a vampire that much in games, so it's always fun to me.
That's true. That's weird, right? Because like a while ago, or I want to say like 15, 20 years ago, zombies and vampires was all we got. And then suddenly just both of them disappeared, right?
Mm-hmm. Hopefully that, what is it, Blood of the Dawnwalker?
Oh, yeah, dude. Yeah.
Really good, so.
Witcher.
Yeah. Micah, do you care about any of these two games coming out? Or anything else? Maybe if you don't, anything coming on the horizon then for you?
Oh, yeah, neither of these, but I'm very excited for the Katamari Damacy game because I've never played one.
Oh, really? Wow.
And I swear to God that if you people lied to me about that too,
what am I supposed
there's
to lie
going to be a
about?
problem.
It's a cool game.
That I'd like it. If people lied to me about that one as well, I'm going to fucking lose it.
I don't know if you would like it. I have no idea. But it's cool.
I've been told by people that I would enjoy it. And if they are wrong, there will be hell to pay. The company will be no more. There will be no more podcasts.
Shit. Damn, there's a lot of pressure on Katamari there.
The stakes are very high.
Yeah, holy shit. All right, this is from Alex Porto. This was originally sorted out, but I thought I'd throw it in here. I'm issuing a sorted out to gamers for complaining that Ghost of Yote is a sequel. You know, a new game in the same franchise. Are we forgetting that sequels being similar to the original is the norm, not the exception? Uncharted 2, Mega Man 2, Gears of War 2, The Last of Us Part 2, Death Stranding 2, Super Mario Galaxy 2, and more. All very well-regarded games that just take what works and improve upon it. Hell, From Software has been making the same game since 2009, and they are worshipped like the gods for it. So, sorted out to people just complaining for complaining's sake nowadays. It's boring, edgy shit. It's clear some of these people are actively looking for something to complain about. Then Mikey commented on this Patreon to him and said, there's nothing wrong with iterative sequels. It's just that they usually took 1 to 2 years to make, max 3. So when it takes 5+ years, you expect a bigger leap. Now, I will say in defense of Ghost, they did do DLC, which took time to make, and they did a PS5 port and Legends. So it took technically 4 years. Which is still a long time, but games take a long time now. Not in my opinion, they just do now.
Yeah. It's also a pretty substantial leap, I think, from the first game to this game. Like the things they changed, it's well, we talked so much about this privately, but it's a lot of it is quality over quantity. It's not just the same open world again. They really listened. It's the first game, I'm not going to, a couple of hubs, and the second game has double the hubs, but a third of the activity. So it's not like you're doing 49 fox dens again and 62 camps. No, there's only 20 camps over the entire game, and I think maybe 6 or 7 fox dens. So they listened, and they made it more quality over quantity. To me, it feels more like the jump from Uncharted 1 to Uncharted 2 than from something to something, or maybe from Uncharted 3 to Uncharted 4, maybe, than something else, which is perfectly fine for a sequel, I think.
Micah, what do you think about this, the sequel conversation?
They did change the combat, too. It's not identical to the first game. Like, there are changes. I'm someone who says the reason I want a sequel is because I want more of the first game. There are times when it's obvious that you want a lot more, something like Assassin's Creed 1, for example, which I adore. But that's a game where you say, fantastic premise, cool gameplay, very repetitive. Hopefully the next one, they fix that. The Ghost of Tsushima was a game that, like, my gripe with it was, it gets a little repetitive. You know, I have now danced with this tippy tapping fox 30 times, and I'm over it. Okay, I'm kind of sick of climbing these shrines, but I liked the game a lot. Thought it was fantastic. The goal was like, we'll get more of that, and maybe refine it a bit. So I'm the person who says I don't need the next game to be monumentally different. I wanted more of the same. It's what I wanted a sequel for in the first place. My gripe is when you get a sequel, it's like, these games are different completely. These games are not the same at all. They're the same in name only. So I think I can sympathize with the second commenter saying, like, the amount of time between the two games, you might have expected more. But if I wanted more cool samurai shit, I got more cool samurai shit. I don't know. I don't see the big complaint.
I think that's a very fair point. I think in Yote's defense, really, I think the most people I see complaining about it are the people who aren't playing it. Because from the outside, it looks like it's more of the same. But when you play it, it's not really. So I think there's also a subtle difference there. Because it is more, in a way, it is more of the same, of course, but it's a new iteration of it. It's a more better, improved, like a sequel should be.
Yeah, it's something you notice when you're like actually playing it and in there in the world and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I can understand how people, just from the surface, just seeing it and be like, not really doing much for me. But like, I think once you're actually in there, it's kind of like Mario Galaxy 1 and 2, like the Ride had said. Sequel does a lot of it, but there is a lot of different improvements, in my opinion, in Galaxy 2. Some negatives, though. Okay. Andrew Dixon wrote in, Dear Summoners, it has been well documented that our beloved Micah is a psychopath with all her one sock and warm lettuce nonsense. But it's time to even the playing field and acknowledge your own inner weirdo. My question for Brad and Locke is this. What odd habit, quirk, or trait do you have that would merit a firm stand down from the LSM community? Okay, I have one.
Oh, you go first.
I don't like milk in my cereal. I eat that shit dry.
Oh, really?
Yep.
I could feel that because here's the thing. I'm a milk and cereal person, but I didn't have Frosted Mini Wheats with milk until I was like 25 years old. That was a cereal I strictly ate dry. And like Frosted Mini Wheats, I mean, that's you're like eating tumbleweeds.
I mean,
they're delicious little tumbleweeds.
I haven't eaten those in a long time. But like if I'm getting a bowl of Cinnamon Toast Crunch, I'm not putting milk in it. I don't want it. I don't want that soggy shit. All right.
Not even on the side, because like my cousins would always have their bowl of dry cereal and a glass of milk on the side, and they would sip on the milk. And I remember my sister and I being like, what the fuck are they doing?
No, I don't know. I mean, I haven't had a glass of milk and I don't even know how long. It's been years.
Same. I have other cousins who like their they would make Kraft mac with no milk, and they called it dusty mac and cheese.
Oh,
that's so funny.
It's the fucking powder on the pasta.
Yeah, that's so weird. I don't know, man. I can't think of anything that weird. That's like the weirdest thing I could think of off.
That's good enough. That's good enough.
I know some assholes out there to be like, that's not weird. Get weird.
Yeah, I think it's pretty weird. I think it's weird enough because cereal and milk is just a thing that the average person would eat.
Yeah, it's a combo. Yeah,
it's the thing. I do almond milk these days.
Yeah,
but I'm a big fan of night cereal. That's one of my favorite things.
Night cereal. Lockmort, is there anything you could think of about yourself that people would think is weird?
I don't know how weird this is. Maybe I think it's normal at this point for me. But I like ice cream, but only when it's completely melted. I don't like to. Okay, well, there you go. I don't like to eat ice cream. I like to drink it. So
that is funny. So
when
you're like
buy
a milkshake kind of guy.
Yeah, but even milkshakes are like too liquidy. I like ice cream when it's like when you're really good at choking on it.
That's so fucking funny. So if you're at home, you leave ice cream out to melt, then you drink it.
That's what I do. I buy like if I have ice cream in the summer, I buy like these little tubs and I just leave them out for like a couple of hours until it's fully melted and then I chug it.
That's so cool.
Oh, I love that. My sister and I used to always stir up our ice cream until it was quite liquidy, and then you add on like sprinkles and whatever, and you eat it like soup. So I'm a fan of liquid ice cream.
I was about to ask you, Micah, if you could think of anything for Colin, then I was like, nah. It's well known. It's well documented, probably.
I mean, probably one of the weirdest things for Colin is that he has selective like of chocolate. He does not like chocolate, generally speaking.
Interesting.
However, he loves the Entenmann's chocolate frosted donuts. He used to love the EL Fudge like chocolate sandwich cookies. But literally, it's like those two things. Yeah, the ones they ruined.
So good. Yeah.
It was those two things. He otherwise does not like chocolate. And those are two fucking chocolatey ass things. But otherwise, like, he doesn't want it, does not like it.
Interesting.
And it just always makes me laugh because it's like, I don't understand how you can enjoy the Entenmann's chocolate frosted donut, but the thought of chocolate cake, he's like, oh, no, thank you. Like, does not want even a bite. Doesn't like chocolate chips.
Maybe it's just American chocolate, because American chocolate is very different from like other chocolates. Like you guys have like a very different taste to your chocolate.
Yeah.
But
oh yeah, it's supposed to be terrible. I love it. I've heard Europeans say that Hershey chocolate tastes like bile because there's like a specific ingredient in it. Yeah. And they say like, oh, just Hershey's chocolate tastes like vomit, mate.
Tastes like vomit. Boy, Harry.
Obviously, like Lockmore, you're in like Willy Wonka's fucking playhouse over there in the land of chocolate. And I'm a big, like, my favorite chocolate, like, Godiva, like, Valentine's Day. Sure. Somebody get you a box of Godiva chocolate. Now that's like the top of the tops. But I'm also just like, unless it's the really bad chocolate, like for children, like the Palmer chocolatey coating chocolate that's like not real. Unless it's that, I fucking love chocolate. So I can't understand Colin enjoying EL Fudge sandwich cookies, which have a layer of fudge in the middle, and then not liking other chocolate. Because it's like, I mean, it's all the same level playing field here.
Sure. He doesn't mean like a Reese's peanut butter cup or anything like that?
Oh, no, dude, he hates that. He hates that. I love Reese's. That's one of my favorite things.
Yeah.
Because, so for protein powder, when we first got one for him, and of course he hates chocolate, so he wanted vanilla. But I'm like, that brand's vanilla has very bad reviews. And so, but it's the only one he wanted to try. He has stuck with it since then. But it's like, bro, that vanilla has like bad reviews. I would get like strawberry or something. He's like, oh, that's fine.
All right. Last writing here is from Daniel Pina. Hello, my favorite trio. I have a burning question to ask Micah. Being a huge fan of the Witcher series, have you ever played Thronebreaker, The Witcher Tales? I just recently played through and was blown away by the quality of the writing. It's CD Projekt Red's best writing. If you're unaware, it's a top-down RPG, which you control Meve, is how you say the name, the Queen of Lyria /Rivia, as she leads a campaign against the invading Nilfgaard. In classic Witcher fashion, there are many decisions to be made, and even when you think you choose the right decision, some fucked up shit will probably end up happening anyways. The only caveat is that the battles are done in the standalone Gwent style. I know, we don't like that, but they are not that bad in a single-player RPG context. There are story battles and puzzle battles where you will sometimes be given a special deck to use. But, my fucking Google Doc signed me out. What a bitch. Hold on. God damn it, dude.
Do you want me to read the last sentence?
Yes, just read it.
But it is fun building up an army throughout the game and reaping Nilfgaard heads. Cheers.
All right. Thank you, Micah. All right. I think we've talked about this before, Micah. You were not interested in this game, though, right?
No, I never played it. And yeah, because in-game, I love Gwent. Love Gwent. I'm like knocking on the Bloody Baron's door in the middle of the night, like, come play Gwent with me, And it's like, I loved it. And then when they made the standalone Gwent game, I did not like it. And it's one of my biggest disappointments that I've ever felt in my life.
Now, let's get into that. Why did you not like it? Was it just that they added maybe a lot more to it? Was it as simple or something?
It's been so long. I don't remember why.
Okay.
I just remembered that it was not the same as in-game. It was not the same Gwent that you play in the game. It's like they were like, it's Gwent but better. And I'm like, no, it fucking isn't. No, what are you doing? I was promised standalone Gwent. And what you gave me was a different game. And I'm like, why'd you do that? And so I can't remember. Like, I played it for like 2 hours and said never again.
Damn.
So at this point, it's been too long for me to remember the specifics of what felt wrong about it. But I didn't like it. So the comparison to that with Thronebreaker is like, well, I don't think I'm going to like it. But if the story's good, I don't know. Maybe I'll finally give it a try. But no, like standalone Gwent was one of my like profound disappointments because I was like, you fucked it up. All you had to do was take Gwent and make it a standalone game. That's it. No changes. No notes. All right, no notes. You leave it alone. And they couldn't do it. They had to fiddle with it. I can't. It's like when you watch a reel of a guy painting something and you're like, oh, it's perfect. And then he keeps fiddling with it. It's like, stop fiddling with it. He ruined it. He ruined it. So,
damn.
It's kind of what they did to Gwent standalone game. They kept fiddling with it and they ruined it.
Damn. Lockmort, have you played this?
Yes, I loved it. Yeah, I thought it was great. I kind of disagree with it having the best writing they've ever done. I still think that's The Witcher 2 really for me. But I thought it was great. I thought it was yeah, exactly. Great character. It should have been in 3, but wasn't, which is nuts.
Those sons of bitches. Kid, fit him in. What do you mean?
Yeah, crazy. But to his credit, he's right, Micah, because Thronebreaker, it does change the Gwent game a little bit, is that it gives you certain cards that are applicable to the mission that you're playing. So if you're playing for the Empire, if you're against the Empire, you get like Empire cards that do a specific thing. Or if you're playing against the monsters, you get monster cards that do a specific thing. So it kind of makes it dynamic, and it kind of makes it change it up a little. It is really fun. It's not that long. It's pretty easy. It's yeah, check it out. Yeah, I think it's free on GOG, or it used to be free anyway. I don't know if it's still the case.
I don't even know what that is, but I wrote it down. I wrote it down with Baldur's Gate 3.
Awesome. All right, Micah, Lockmort, that's it. We're done for this episode. Thank you both for joining me. I appreciate it. Always fun chatting with you two psychopaths. Good stuff. I'm in good company. Before we go, Locke, is there anything you would like to promote, Micah, as well? I don't know if there's anything. I see you more often, so I'm not really sure. But Lockmore, is there anything coming up you want to promote? Anything like that?
It's finally time. I finally made a new video. It's out right now when this goes up. And it's about Ghost of Yotei. So I don't think it will do well because that game is 2 weeks old. But I loved Ghost of Yotei so much that I figured I have to do something with this. So I did. It's going up today when this episode is going up too. And then my next one, probably next week or within the 2 weeks, because I have a couple of them lined up now, so I can upload a little bit quicker.
We'll see if those actually come out. I know you.
I'm just loving this. You guys are all working so hard on your YouTube channels. Brad and Dustin and Locke, like all you guys do in your extracurricular activities. I fucking love it. I love to see it, and I do my best to watch them and retweet them. So I'm just really proud of you guys.
Yeah, thank you. Micah, what about you? Anything you want to promote or anything coming up? Audience should keep an eye out on.
I want to bring up that when Lockmort was asked what psychopathic thing he does, he should have said that he doesn't wear his glasses and he can't fucking see. Lockmort's just bopping around the world, fucking just raw dogging that shit, can't see nothing. And I was like, funny. When we did that episode of Constellation, I laughed so hard my stomach hurt. Like it really was like, this is insanity that this man's just going around his day, going to the coffee shop and can't see the menu. Like, and I say that because I can't see without my glasses, and I can't fathom being like I am entering the world like that.
Yeah, that's funny as hell. All right, we're out of here, everybody. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next week. Take care and goodbye. Summon Sign is a product of Last Stand Media and Colin's Last Stand LLC and is proudly recorded in the USA. The show is written and hosted by me, Brad Ellis. The show is produced by Dustin Furman. All of Last Stand's theme music is by Ramon Narvaez. Summon Sign, along with the rest of Last Stand's media shows, are fan-funded on Patreon at patreon.com/laststandmedia. The following names are at the producer level on Patreon, our highest tier, and we are grateful for your kind contribution and generosity to our independent endeavor. Thank you.